In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is presented by Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation. Established in 2014 as an Alaskan nonprofit organization, its purpose, keep sheep on the mountains of Alaska. As stewards of wildlife conservation, they promote scientific wildlife management, educating the public on wild sheep while enhancing populations. Their objective is to protect and improve sheep hunting and viewing opportunities. Join as a member today and make a difference at akwildsheep.org.
Alaska Wild Project podcast is supported by the following sponsors. Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
AZAC Equipment. The mission is pretty simple. Build equipment that is light, functional, and durable, providing hunters field-tested gear for the rugged Alaskan backcountry. AZAC Equipment offers optic mounting solutions including ultralight tripods, pan heads, and ball heads designed to deliver in the most unforgiving conditions. Check out their products at aziak.com.
Mayor's Salsa, made fresh to order, ensuring you get the most flavorful salsa every time. Crafted with the finest ingredients, delivering an authentic taste you can truly enjoy. The classics include City Slicker, Arctic Heat, Fairbanks Fire, and AWP's favorite, Rollin' Smoke. Visit mayorsalsa.com, changing the way the world eats salsa.
Game Day Men's Health Anchorage, helping men look, feel, and perform at their best with testosterone replacement therapy, ED solutions, medical weight loss, and cutting-edge peptide treatments. Whether you're grinding on the job site or chasing kids around the suburbs, Game Day helps you reclaim your game. Take your health to the next level at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage, is our go-to for powder sleds and utility rigs. Whether you're in the mountains with the flat bill bros, running trap lines, or hauling freight, they have the selection to get you dialed from peaks to the valleys. Find them on Commercial Drive or akmining.com.
Grizzly Expeditors and Taxidermy, established in 2022, offering a wide selection of services to hunters, guides, and taxidermists alike. They take pride in providing the hunting community with exceptional service and one-of-a-kind results, while capturing a memory of a lifetime. Visit their website at grizzlyexpeditors.com.
Northern Waste. It may be trash, but doesn't have to look like garbage. Whether it's your home, business, or rental property, Northern Waste will do what it takes to make sure your waste and recycling needs are covered. Visit them today at northernwaste.com. Let's talk trash. That's awesome.
So it was in a trap?
Yeah, it snared it.
Okay.
So
I wonder if someone else came by and whacked it.
I don't believe so because it was still alive. So
okay.
I did have to dispatch it. So
yeah.
Oh, okay. So you found him like very soon after he snared.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
check that I'd been there the night before and seen that they were coming into the sets, and so I went back out the next day and I had gotten a couple of them, and it was like, and he, like I said, he looked healthy.
Yeah.
Everything was good, and once I peeled the skin back, I was like, holy shit, this thing went through some battle at some point.
Wow.
That's a cool find, man.
Kicked by something.
But
He's just over here just concussed.
Every one of them's unique. You'll see where they've had their jaws broken before from probably, I'm assuming, trying to take down moose, and how
Yeah.
they'll
Getting a kick.
calcify and they'll heal, and they're a pretty resilient creature, really.
It kind of blows me away to think about how many critters run around out there in pain and discomfort for something.
Yeah.
You know, a fight,
Yeah.
a deformality, just in birth, or like an injury when they were a pup or a young cub, or just
Yep.
you know a calf or something. And you'll see critters out there sometimes, and you're like, "Damn, that thing's walking around on 3 legs. Like, how is it still surviving?"
Yeah, what's cool, though,
No,
is that
they're
they
so
don't bitch
resilient.
about it, and they have to survive, so they just
don't.
keep moving forward.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
They almost
Well,
don't
then-
even seem affected.
Meanwhile, I have to remind my kids to brush their teeth for going on 12 years now. You know, you got baby caribou running from the wolves on the first day,
Yeah,
and then people will tell you, "Oh man, they grow up so fast." No, they don't. When I was on last time, did I tell you about the walrus that I found the chunk of tusk in its skull?
No.
gosh, I don't know that I recall that.
So got a walrus head, was boiling it, and then they have, you know, kind of that, their nasal cavity right in the middle of their skull. I was kind of cleaning that out and could see something down in there, reached in, and it was about 4 inches of the tip of a tusk inside there. And so I was able to pull that out. And then technically it's a tusk. So I took it in and had it registered. So it's got its own little tag, but it sits like on the windowsill of the house.
Yeah.
Just like a 4 or 5 inch chunk of tusk that was embedded.
He just took that thing to the dome.
And, you know, obviously the walrus is dead when I found it. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what killed it. But it
Maybe.
didn't look super fresh. I mean, it was down in there.
Damn, dude, ouch.
Brutal.
That must have really fucking
So
hurt
with
every
a
day.
tusk in your brain.
It's just
Probably mad.
owning it.
So what do you got to do to register?
Go to U.S. Fish and Wildlife,
Okay.
to the feds, and just say where you found it. And
Okay.
write
It's
your-
not a big deal, like a big hassle.
within 30 days.
Okay. Wow. I didn't
Be
know it was
almost
that
like
easy.
sealing a bear skull or anything else.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
assume.
know that
Yeah.
though. Wow.
That's what I thought.
Is there limitations? Like, oh, this is too big. We need to take this to the museum.
Nope.
No. Okay. So I wonder about the guy that with the boneyard. That
Oh,
guy
yeah.
up in Fairbanks.
Yeah, John.
Like they always try to take his stuff. Seems like John something. Right?
He's always fighting. He's been on Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah, a
times?
couple times.
Yeah. He won't come on here. He says he only do Joe Rogan.
He's too
Like,
big.
come on, man.
Oh, he's the one that says that?
Yeah. Come on, man.
I thought it was
Do
a
the
different
local
guest
boys.
that we actually had on finally that said that, but it was him that says that?
Yeah, it's him that said. I've talked to him a couple of times online. He says he only do Joe Rogan. All right. I can
He
see. He's
seems
a little
like
bigger.
a cool guy.
Yeah, he's like a cool guy. I think people would love to hear his story.
I mean, we're not Joe Rogan, but I think we're like
Is that
most
a
popular in Alaska.
is that a mining lease that he's getting all that stuff off of?
Yeah.
So it's actually not his land; it belongs to BLM, and he's leasing it.
No, I think it is his land.
Oh, okay,
I think it's an old gold mine that he bought,
okay. So it's like
and he just
grandfathered
found
in.
one area that has like all these
Yeah, the graveyard.
Yeah, the boneyard it's called.
the boneyard.
Yeah,
And
I've
they
seen
find
it.
all kinds of crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen videos of it on YouTube.
Yeah, there's some pretty amazing stuff up there.
Like a lot of the things they find is those what is it, the stipe bison.
Yeah.
Is that what
Step.
Oh, the
Step
step,
bison.
step or steep step step.
Step. Yeah,
Yeah.
with 2 P's. The guys up in Delta have a fossil of a female steppe bison that they found on his property.
Wow.
In Delta. It's like 33,000 years old or something like that. It's projected to be.
Do you have a picture of it?
I do. Yeah.
Let me put that up there.
He's got some Christmas lights strung on it. Yeah, I'll pull it up here. Give me a second. That's pretty cool. You mentioned that. He's a Fairbanks-based miner, landowner, discovered massive concentrated deposit on his private property. Didn't disclose exactly what his private property is, but
That's John
that's John. Yeah, John Reeves.
Reeves.
John
there you go.
Reeves.
John needs to come on our show, man. Come on, dude.
Come on, John. Tell
Come
John,
on,
come on.
John.
Please, bro. Get on with the boys here.
Yeah. How's Hillary, man? I saw the crash. It keeps popping up on my feed, and I didn't realize there's like angles. There's like different angles and different camera modes. I'm like, dang, dude, she got jacked up. It looked like black eye and everything.
Racing?
Yeah, man. She was in some race and did a little whoop-de-whoop or something, and did something get clipped a little bit maybe? I don't know. I don't know if we want to. Something happened there. Anyway, she crashed, and she went flying over the thing, and I think someone else crashed too, it looked like.
She was in the Valdez Mayor's Cup race, which was a pretty big race that just occurred this last weekend down in Valdez. And then I wasn't down there, but Tim was, and he probably fill you in on.
Well, somebody's somewhat new to racing daughter came a little hot into the corner and just tapped the side of her track and hit her sideways.
Okay.
And that somebody was sitting right next to me.
That was my daughter.
Oh, no. Oh, really? Oh, no.
What are the chances of that?
Yeah.
God.
Poor Keely, she felt terrible.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's
And
okay,
obviously
though.
she went through the washing machine, too. So
Yeah.
we're glad that she was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my
There
God.
was one of those videos you seen, like, it wasn't Hillary, seen someone just, like, cartwheeling. That was my daughter, Keely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was Keely. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness, dude. Wow.
How old is Keely?
Keely is 18.
Okay, so she's pretty grown.
Yeah, she doesn't live with me. She lives up in Fairbanks with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or us, I should say.
Racing sleds.
Yeah, she's with good friends of ours, the Carroll Racing outfit. She's dating Austin Carroll, who's also an Iron Dog racer.
Oh, okay. All right. Keely, Kelley?
Keylee.
Y-L.
Okay, so there's the
What? Really?
the step bison. Yeah, that's how do you spell that again? Keyy.
Y-L-E-E.
Yep, Keylee.
That's
Really?
that's that Sterling education.
That water.
Is that why it's
all that fresh, clean water,
It's
man.
well water.
We don't drink our well water. There's a lot of arsenic in it.
That's true.
But no, Hillary's feeling good physically.
Okay.
Mentally, it was.
I'm
she
sure bummed too.
sacrificed a lot of her winter, for us, and did kind of minimal riding, maximum momming, and had a lot riding on Mayor's Cup. She's won it the last few years in a row.
Okay.
It's like that would have been a really well-timed ego boost for her. And then she blew out one of her knees even more than it already was last summer. Rode very few miles, so was nervous going into it. Didn't have very many miles on her body. Didn't know how her knee was going to be. Felt really good in practice and was feeling great. And then got taken out in the first corner. So now she's got a black eye. This is her 15th concussion, I think. So high school sports, she had a bunch, and then hasn't had any since she was, I think, 18. And so physically, obviously it rocked her world. So she wrecked, was thinking everything was going well into that first corner. And then Keely woke her up, was like, Hillary, and then helped her get over to her sled, flipped the sled over, rips her windshield off, takes off going. And she said she'd never ridden so fast in her life. She passed all the entire class.
She kept racing?
All the way back to second, did about 17, 18 miles, and then went up Hogsback. You have to climb a couple thousand feet up this peak.
Yeah.
And then every time you go up Hogsback, your ears start to pop. Like you're going up fast enough
elevation
to hear
change.
that elevation change. And she got pretty extreme nausea then, and then her vision goes all pixelated. And so in her one eye, she can't see, and then your depth perception is off. And there's all these checkpoints. So she just pulled into a checkpoint, and then she says, "Get my helmet off me," and she pulls her helmet off and starts throwing up, and then she can't really talk, so she sounds intoxicated, and they're going, "What's wrong with you? Who are you?" And she manages to get out her last name, and they're like, "What?
Yeah.
Because she's kind of the favorite to win.
Yeah.
So she was bummed, but they checked her out, got her on a sled, got her back to the pits. I'm racing, so I don't know.
Okay.
I start, about lap 3. You start lapping through the classes that have left way behind you.
Okay.
And are generally traveling at, a slower speed. And so I recognize all the women in the women's pro class. And so I'm like, oh, there's Keely. Okay. she looks good. All right, go Keely. And then I'm like, oh, okay, here's Kimber Connor. Oh, here's Beth. Go Beth. And I'm thinking in my head, like, all right, go Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary's up here.
Haven't seen her yet.
Yeah.
And then I came around. I never did see her. And then I came around for my pit stop to get fuel. And, you're racing and you're exhausted and there's a lot going on. And I didn't really think that much about it. And I just never did see her. Yeah. And then we might have been on opposite sides of the track for all I knew. But at the end, I do 200 miles and then end. And she's sitting there in a camp chair with a sleeping bag over her, just,
Oh, man.
You knew what was going on. And shoot.
Oh.
Gosh, dang, dude. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I guess it is kind of like part of the...
Yep, that's
part of the game, right?
Unfortunate, and that's racing. Scratching sucks.
Yeah.
Been there.
And she was pumped, ready to take another win, too, wasn't she?
Keely didn't win it, did she?
No, she didn't win.
Okay.
She did get up and finish though, so
that's good.
She got her world rock too. She didn't hit her head, thankfully, but she ragdolled pretty good, and she was pretty beat up. So just says a lot about her character, being young and
You said that was her first race.
That was for my daughter.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was another cross country race prior to this one in Fairbanks that they just kind of kicked off, kind of similar to the Mayor's Cup in Valdez.
Okay.
And she had just raced that one prior to, but
was that her first race?
No, her first race, she cut her teeth in Mayor's Cup a couple years ago as a junior.
Got it.
So, which I don't know if it's the best one to go cut your teeth.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty intense race to start on.
What's the path? What's the track?
You're in town in the pipe yard right across from the Marathon gas station, so just outside of town.
Okay.
And then you kind of weave alongside the road. You go down the road one way, around a ball field, back under the bridge next to the glacial stream, and then back down the road, switch back, come back, and then you go kind of into the backcountry and travel out to Robe Lake, and then all the way across Robe Lake, and then switch back across Robe Lake, and then kind of head up through the forest, up the glacial stream, and then up what they call Hogsback, this mountain, come back down, back to the forest, onto the stream, up to where the glacier, there's like a glacial lake up there, and then they call it the dump road. I assume that the dump is up there, but you pop out up by this lake and then onto the road, and then run the road back down, halfway down the river, and then hop onto the river, run the river back, and then you're back at the start. So it's a 25-mile lap.
Okay.
And so you're doing laps and different classes. The women's pro class that we were talking about, they do 100 miles. The vet class does 100 miles. The semi-pro class does 150, so 6 laps. The pros do 200, so they're generally like the last to finish.
Yeah. How long does it take? What was your time?
I don't know. It's 30-minute laps and 8 laps. So what's that, 4 hours?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
And 30-minute historically, so it seems like the average has normally in that 25-minute range. It seems, because I didn't attend this year, but I was, having FOMO, and I was down in
I bet you were
monitoring the whole time and seeing what was going on, and
Keely,
just seeing everybody and just seeing what the lap time average was, even for your top guys. And it's like, okay, the conditions got to be shitty if those are the lap times they're doing. I think like Robbie Shackle owns the fastest lap record, and it was like 23 minutes or something like that in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first lap was 26 minutes was for Casey. Mine was 29. The end, I ended up at 4.5 hours. He was 4 hours.
Okay.
I was in 5th. He was in 1st.
Yeah.
pretty tight window of top finishers there in that last half hour then.
Yeah.
Is there no break? You just go the whole time? Stopping gas?
For fuel.
You have to pit?
Stop for fuel.
What, three of those maybe? Through the race?
It kind of depends on
conditions and track spin and
and if you have auxiliary fuel tanks. If you don't, then you're probably gonna have to pit twice. If you do, so we went out and we did a fast lap in practice the day before, and then started with it topped, went back to the gas station right across the street, and then I got 3.5 gallons. And I'm like, okay, well, let's round that up to 3.7 and do the math on that. Okay. I can do 4 laps. And so you did half the race and then filled up.
Okay. And you probably want to run as light as you can. I don't know if are you really faster if you burn fuel? Do you feel anything different?
In your suspension. in the bumps.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not necessarily for forward momentum, but it's handling everything. And so it depends on how your shocks are valved.
The course is also getting worse and worse and worse every
good
lap.
point.
So because you have all racers out on the course, so it's just getting bombed out. So everything's just you're getting bombed out as an individual. Your shocks are starting to fade, and the course is just getting horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I didn't realize they called the kids one the Iron Pup. I was looking into that. Is that fairly new?
So when I was in here last, I talked to you about Alaska cross country racing, which is what us and another family started. Iron Dog got interested in that and really wanted to, be involved in that as like a youth racing development. And they actually had the name Iron Pup in the past, and we had got their permission to use Iron Pup for one of our events. But they then, when we kind of grew it into the thing that it's become, they said, hey, what if we run this all under the Iron Dog, and you guys still are involved? You're just like a subcommittee off the Iron Dog board, and then we'll get ISR insurance, which is like the gold standard of snowmobile racing insurance. No kids race has ever been insured by ISR in Alaska. And then registrations on the Iron Dog website. We use the Iron Dog Arch. A bunch of the people involved now are either racers or involved in organizing the Iron Dog. And so just kind of added some
benefits and some
Yeah. And so
cool
now
things.
it's called Iron Pup is kind of the series. And then the individual races are, the Scary Tree and the Backcountry Breakup Bash, which is in Eureka. And then usually we have one in January, but the last 2 years since Iron Dog's taken over, it's been low snow, so we haven't had it.
Yeah, I saw the logo for that or something you guys were putting out there. I was like, love that name.
Yeah, I actually had those logos made by this gal the first year we did Scary Tree. And I can't remember how I met her. Her name was Tessa. And she just, Hillary came up with the idea. She's like, what about a scary-looking tree riding a snow machine? And then she sent us, the first rendition of it. And we were like,
perfect.
Oh, my God, that's amazing. And so I write Iron Pup. How about a husky-looking dog? And so then when Iron Dog got involved, they're like, that's a great logo. We need a helmet on it. And so then they added that open face helmet under the dogs.
Yeah. There's the picture of that steppe bison. And what's next to it there? A couple of regular bison?
Yeah, there's a cow. There's a cow bison on the right with the fro, and then there's two bulls on the left that are
little disco bison.
Yeah. He's just got his that's his I think his workbench or something that all that hangs over.
And a couple old Budweiser cans.
Yeah, you probably found those artifacts in the dirt as well. I was looking for that.
Yeah. That's how we're gonna mount our bison right there on the right, the afro.
Oh, that's how you're gonna do it at home?
No. I took it over to Christian at Grizzly Expeditors, so he's gonna tan the hide. I told him I was like, I can't see skinning the head and face off of it and throwing it away.
Yeah.
With the fro. That's the coolest part about a bison is the afro, right? And we got a young bull, so he wasn't huge, but I was like, man, could you just tan that and save it? And he's like, well, what if I tanned it and then I trimmed it and then I put it on the Euro and it was just a fro? I was like, oh my God, yes. Let's do that.
So it's like that.
It's going to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just dropped it off Friday. He's going to skin it. And I was telling you about them boys that butchered that thing for us, right?
Yeah.
They skinned it so clean, right? I was like, oh my God, when they took it off and, I rolled it up and threw it in the truck and I unrolled it and let it thaw and I took it into Grizzly and Christian and his crew over there. And he's writing up the ticket with his wife. His wife runs the front office there. And he's like, no charge for fleshing. he's like, I knew it the second I pulled that ball out of the back of the truck. He's like, this thing's way too light. Yep. He's like, usually guys leave way too much fucking flesh on there.
Yeah.
So, but
anybody that's wanting to get something like a half mount or something, they're probably afraid of.
Yeah.
Because every taxidermy's like, leave as much as you can.
Oh, totally.
Let me deal with it. So.
Yeah, and they didn't even nick it once. So.
It's awesome.
But yeah, that one photo, the step. The photo doesn't do it justice in person because those bulls on the left side, those are big, old, 8, 9, 10-year-old bison. Those are good sized bulls. So that step is huge. And that's a female. The females were, I think, 2,500 to 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
Was their projected size.
Jeez.
So I can only imagine a bull must have been, 4,000 pounds ish.
That's crazy.
If a big old one. And they said too that the bison in captivity can live up to 50 years old.
Oh, wow.
I was like, damn.
I don't think I'd want to eat one of those ones, though.
Yeah. just ride.
All right, there's kind of a little image of it.
Yep. Yeah, that looks about like what it would
Jesus.
be. It's just a monstrous thing, man.
So this is the one you got, the little guy.
Little guy. Yeah.
I just
Wow,
sent
look at
you a
that.
video, Daniel, of
Got
a
it.
bull that we saw by Egypt Mountain on a training ride this year. It's a nice one.
Monstrosity or what?
He
When
was
you guys
pretty
watch
big
it.
bull.
Let me put it up here real quick.
Yeah, a guy sent me, he was out chucker hunting up in Delta back in September, October, and he sent me a video of a herd, and there must have been like a fucking 10, 12-year-old bull in that group. He was so huge. He's like, there's your bison. I was like, dude, me and my wife couldn't handle that thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, he's right on the trail.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Whoa, dude. Kevin, look at that thing.
Jesus.
Holy
dude.
shit, dude.
That's where
Whoa,
I was
bro.
like, all right, where's my out?
You can see his,
Yeah, dude.
you can see his ribs.
Yeah, they say that those older bulls will kind of satellite themselves away from the rest of the herds, at least in that Furwell herd. I got a friend that spends quite a bit of time over there, and he was by himself. And then I think we seen some others a few miles down the trail, some cows and some calves.
Damn, dude, man, his head is monstrous, dude.
Yeah, he was large.
Holy
Yeah, the trail
smokes.
looks fucked up.
How
though.
long did it take for him to get out of the way?
It wasn't long.
20
Dude, look
seconds.
how wide his eyes are. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
That is monstrous, dude.
Sitting there cleaning
Let's
his
get a little bit more froey, huh? In the winter, look how long this
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
as like maybe like curly froey. It's more like frizzy.
Well, he's got all them guard hairs on there
Yeah.
from winter hairs.
Yeah.
And that just like Delta, that whole area,
Jeez,
it's
wow.
50, 60 below through there, and the whole all winter, just like Delta is.
Reason.
There's
You know,
a
I'm enamored at like how massive their eyes are. As they get old like that, and you can really see their eyes. You know what I mean? Like, like a moose eye is like you can't really see it unless they kind of turn their eye and you see the white of it.
Yeah,
A bison, when he's looking at you, you can see his pupils.
yeah. That one, even when you play that video and he zooms in, you can almost clearly see his pupils.
Yeah, play it, Daniel. Yeah, he's like looking right at you. See his eyes right there.
Yeah. And then he's shoving his tongue about 4 feet up his nostrils.
Yeah.
Man, he's got a goatee too. Look at him, man.
Yeah, he was beauty.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, the trail does look gnarly. It looks like crunchy.
That was great.
That was a good trail.
Oh,
It was
really?
way better than last year.
Oh, well, last year was,
Yeah.
Last year
it
was
was
just
nothing,
straight
right?
dirt.
Dirt.
Jeez.
Dirt and rocks.
That looks like shit, though.
No, it was great.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
Really, I'm not lying.
Really? Okay.
What was there like a substantial amount of snow between Nikolai and Rowan? Or does
I
it get
wouldn't
blown
s-
around?
That's what happens. Is it stays so cold in there, it never really has time to set up, and then nobody that I know of really accesses that section of the trail up until Iron Dog and Iditarod. And so it was actually nice when Tim and we broke that trail from Roan to Nikolai, and it was nice that there was that much snow. So it's like, okay, now we're going to lay down, we're going to compact this. So if there is a weather event in here, at least this will be like an ice
nice
luge or
base,
something.
yeah.
There
Oh,
snow
right.
will stay right here in this what we did. So it's like it was kind of assuring that okay, during race day, no matter what kind of weather events they might have between now and then, at that point, it was like the trail will stay and we will maintain snow for cooling, which we did not have the year prior.
Right, just right.
You send me something else?
Yeah, I sent you a video of the trail last year.
It was pretty cool to float down
I didn't get
the
it yet.
Cusco, jump out on the post and walk up in the post and see the Iron Dog Trail and the sign.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was just like, man, it is like the middle of
Jesus.
nowhere
Yeah.
right there. And there's just a clear cut sign.
There's nothing
or
there,
a
dude.
trail cutting right through.
It's loading.
What do we got next?
He's going to show us. This is last year's.
Oh, the dirt track.
Yeah, dude, look at this.
Oh, what?
yeah.
There's absolutely zero snow.
Yeah, it was 70 miles of that.
Okay,
What?
I thought that it was like an over exaggeration, but there was still like
I mean, look at that.
No exaggeration whatsoever.
No, I thought it was an
70 miles
exaggeration
of
too.
that. This is a good stretch because right there,
There's a little ice.
There's
you
some
can
cooling.
get down on your hands and knees right there and scrape that little bit of ice and then
And
put it
cool
on your
off.
cooler.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the first night, I mean, you felt like somebody down on their luck looking for something they lost in the carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes you'd show up to one of those and you'd be like, "Ooh, dang it, somebody's already scraped this puddle." That was brutal. Because right there, we're stopped. That's in the race. We're on
Yeah.
the clock. This is Hillary and I. She's back there. And, you know, our sleds are 200 degrees.
Yeah.
And so you shut them
Gotta
off,
stop.
sit there and wait.
How long could you run between shutdowns?
On the way northbound, when you hadn't even anticipated it, I don't know, what, a mile, 2 miles, maybe?
Yeah, it all
Also,
depends
stop and go,
It
stop
was
and go, stop and go.
Well, on the way back, we then thought about it, and different people built enclosures. You know, so we got those Kirkland laundry detergent buckets and cut them in half, cut a hole in the top, and then took our bag off, put that on the running board, bungeed that enclosure upside down on the tunnel above the cooler, and then we had a hatchet. We'd stop at all the frozen creeks and we'd get ice.
Put it on
load
Fill
there.
it
full
up.
of ice, and so then that's kind of like
Jumbling around in there?
tumbling around in there, and then you could cruise until the ice all melted. You'd cruise at like 170, 180, which was prior to that race. If my sled ever got to 170, I'm like, oh my God, stop. After that experience, 170 is like,
Shit, we're good, dude. Running cool, baby.
Keep running, baby.
cool.
but you took your goggles off, took your coat off, put it under a bungee, and it just felt like you were riding, in the fall on a 4-wheeler hunt.
That's wild, man.
That year I ran with Shane Barber, and we took our side panels off before we even left McGrath, and we put them with our pilot and had him drop them in Roan, just so
Get a little bit more air in
a
there.
little more
Just-
airflow
yeah.
throwing through there.
Did it help?
And I wouldn't say it was noticeably different, but in my mind it helped.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you were.
we had a little bit different sled setup than Tim and Hillary did. So we got these like duffel bags when we were in McGrath, in kind of the Salmon River, just southbound from Nikolai. That was kind of where the last of the snowish was. So we stopped there and we harvested snow in these massive bags and strapped them to our sleds. And then we were running a different type of fuel tank, but we also, the underneath of our seat was kind of similar to the compartment Tim was explaining. So we'd do the same thing. It'd be like, get hot, pop seat, pack it full of snow, get back on, go as far as we could until we seen temps coming up, do it again until we ran out of snow.
Damn, dude.
Do the new sleds like that still run like a Hyfax?
Yes.
Yeah, they have it's made by DuPont, and so they have this.
It's a graphite insert.
Yeah, type of plastic.
It's not the poly old school one that would like melt.
I think it's
on
called Durlin is the type of plastic. And so
Durlin.
they have all these 45-degree angle little inserts of Durlin, which I think is a graphite infused plastic.
Yep. And it almost acts as like a lubricator between the actual like poly Hyfax. It still has the same type of poly Hyfax that slides onto the rail.
Okay.
But then it's got all these little inserts in it on the bottom of it, and that basically, I think one helps cool it, keep it from getting hot, and then two, it almost acts as like a lubricator. So since I've been racing Iron Dog, that's all that they've had. Our Polaris has come with them from the factory, and Hyfax, changing your Hyfax really isn't a thing anymore. We're back in the day; these guys were strapping spare ones to the sides of their sleds and their bumpers, and they were changing them out, and
getting them out and pounding new ones through there.
But that's, like I said, the Polaris has come with them. I don't know about the other brands, but if they don't, they're buying them and putting them on their sleds.
Yeah, I just see this. I'm thinking they're just melting by the minute.
If they were a standard Hyfax, absolutely.
Yeah, and since we're geeking out on that a little bit, give myself and the listeners just a very much like a basic explanation of what a Hyfax is and what it does.
Yeah, zoom in on that bottom is what it's supposed to look like. So those are all the Durlin inserts at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, and they're huge too. They're not those like skinny.
I took this picture for you, actually. So this was on my practice sled, and that's when I didn't run those front wheels.
This isn't like some like top secret advantage stuff we're showing, is it?
Not at all.
Okay.
Top secret disadvantage. You don't want it to look like that.
You don't want that to happen. Got it.
And that's just the lack of an idler wheel. You know, we
Okay.
kind of played around with not running an idler wheel right there.
Save weight or something, or
It's just
test it.
They decided to do it down south. You know, Polaris's are made in Minnesota, and so the majority of the race team is down there, and so they sort of put out these sleds for those racers down there, and then we make a bunch of modifications. And this year, one of the modifications they made was to delete that wheel. And so in training, we just ran them without it. We're like, oh, I mean, more wheels is better. Well, we'll try it, and then that was the result.
didn't work for our trails.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which I wouldn't notice the effect of that, but you probably wouldn't run that in Iron Dog, which we didn't.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't want to break some shit.
Yeah. But it's funny, now that all those Hyfax are infused with that, I forget about it. And when we...
Oh, yeah, it's not even a thought.
Last year, we rode to Roan after the race with all the kids. So Parker and my previous Iron Dog partner's son, Levi, they were on 200s, rode all the way to Roan and back.
Damn.
From Deschler Landing. And then...
Whoa, it's a long ride.
So those sleds didn't have those fancy Hyfax, obviously. And then there was a few, Hillary's dad and then my best friend and his wife, they didn't have them. And we started going up the Etna, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think about it. It's not non-issue.
Yeah.
But they all started overheating right away. It's like, oh, right, that's something you have to think about.
Yeah. Get a new machine.
Yeah, and what do Hyfaxes do?
It's a slide. So
It's a lubricating slide basically between the track itself and your suspension rails.
Okay, so is the track's thick rubber?
It's actually that portion of the track is running on these metal clips that are on internal on the inside of the track, and those clips are what's running on that itself.
Okay.
And if you wear through a Hyfax, say like a traditional style Hyfax, you will get into the rail and damage it because the rail's aluminum and the clips are steel, and those two guys don't hang out together. And you'll basically destroy a rail, and they're not cheap.
Yep. So you burn up your Hyfax. Now it's rubber or metal on metal.
Correct.
Now you ruin the rail.
Yep.
And then before you know, you chew through that, you break down, you're fucked.
You'll probably break it at some point.
Yeah.
Just because aluminum's not very receptive to heat.
Right.
And it doesn't like to bend. It likes to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always knew what Hyfaxes meant in terms of cooling, but I never really understood exactly how they were. I mean, I kind of put the two and two together looking at it when you would replace them, but I was like, well,
it's essentially it would act as like a bushing. It's a wear
there
item.
it is. Yep. That's a great way to explain it.
So that's a photo of the outside of the track. You can see those metal clips there. That's on the other side of it is where the rails would ride. But this track is Hillary's track after last year's race.
Oh, so it's just
It
annihilated.
It got overheated from lack of snow.
Because of the snow, yeah.
Yep. And so it started coming down the Etna right close to the finish. I thought she was kicking up rocks.
Smoking.
And then I'm like, wait, we're on a glare ice river. There's no rocks here. And yeah, it was chunks of rubber coming off the track. And teams in front of us were completely splitting their tracks, and the track would spit out. And then they're having to get towed to the finish line.
Damn.
Wow.
All because of that 70 miles, no snow.
Well, 140 in total.
Both,
out and back.
Both ways. Yeah, there you go. It's not like you swapped your track out in Nome.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I mean, you had to run from the mouth of the Etna all the way to Squintna. You know, that's 55 miles, 50 miles of just glare ice. So there's very little lubrication there. You know, there's a little from the studs, like those little chips of ice, I guess.
Yeah,
But
like a little haze of ice
I
floating around.
actually learned a lot of that. I mean, I've been snow riding sleds my whole life, but I learned a lot that year of that there wasn't, tracks were failing, drivers were failing, certain things that I've never had happen before. That was due to lack of snow. And then just over the length of time, just the attrition just started taking things out. And then there was a team that had to, on the northbound route, had to swap a set of drivers in Nome because the plastic driver that's actually driving the track didn't have a cooling as well, so it started wearing those down as well. And it's a gear essentially.
Yeah.
So they were wearing the gear legs off, and you go past a certain point, then they'll snap and break, and there you are spinning.
Weird wear and tear from that. Man, those things fucking ripped on that dirt though, didn't they? Just walking. I just think dude, they're just pure traction. When you
think about it, it's a sled that you bought that's brand new, and then you bought all the bells and whistles for it, and you took 3 months taking every single electrical connector out, filling it with dielectric grease, putting it back together, marking it, checking it off on the checklist. You spent 3 months building that thing.
Just this little baby
and
right here.
And the first time you go and ride it, you ride it through 70 miles of dirt.
Yeah.
And the thought in your head is this is ridiculous. And videos popped up online, and they just, they got sent into people's feeds, people that don't know what the Iron Dog is and don't know the context of what we're doing. And people just rip you. They're like, what a waste this is. And you're like,
this isn't
Welcome
normal,
to
people.
Alaska.
This isn't normal.
Yeah, it's a tough race.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh, man.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka, Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage for 47 years, has expanded 3 stores. The main store, the largest Skidoo sled dealer in North America, also has Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Climb, Suzuki Outboards, Honda Outboards, generators and snowboards, Kingfisher boats, and so much more. Alaska Motorsports and Equipment just next door, which was previously Anchorage Suzuki Arctic Cat, for all your Arctic Cat, Suzuki ATV, Husqvarna, Generac, Mahindra Tractor, and now Argo Pro and Sasquatch needs. And to round it out, also next door, the brand new Alaska Mining Superstore, for the largest selection of recreational and light commercial mining equipment anywhere, period.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects, BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wild lands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow them on social media at Alaska_BHA for upcoming events, local pint nights, and more. Stand up for public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking. They got the W that year. Well,
If you're not cheating, you're not. What's the first? We're not trying. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't cheat.
so when you were, I'm trying to like imagine maybe a little bit of where that is, because we did so much e-mapping stuff before, or e-scouting stuff before our hunt. If you're going towards Roan from Nikolai, you were on the right side of the river, and that's where you went up that.
No, it was actually that pass was before you even got into what they call Hell's Gate. So before we had even came out of Ptarmigan.
Oh, Hell's Gate's before Nikolai.
Hell's Gate's before Roan.
It's the other way.
It's like you.
Nikolai's in the flat already.
Yeah, if you're coming through what the Whiskey Bravo, that checkpoint. Typically, the trail goes Whiskey Bravo to Puntilla, Rainy Pass, Lodge area, Puntilla Lake, and then you head up through the pass that way, and then turn and go down through the Ptarmigan and the Happy River, and then you run that to Hell's Gate. Well, instead of doing this big U, we cut through this way and went up what they call there's actually a name for it. It's a portage passage. It's actually named on mappage, and that's where you can make that crossover, and that's what we did last year.
So what did the committee say? Like, no more? You got to stay on the main trail.
We had a race meeting in Nome at our pre-race meeting in Nome. The marshals pretty much said that is off limits on the way home on southbound. And then last year, it was wrote into the rules that you must cross Puntilla Lake.
Oh, okay. So you got to stay down there.
Because there was some questions, kind of some before the pre-race that year in 25. It was like, hey, do we have to go across Puntilla Lake? And they were like, looking at guys all weird, like, no, I guess you can like go on the edge and go around it, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
asking permission without kind of asking permission.
Yeah.
All right, you said it.
Yep. I want to shout out a couple upcoming events. The Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation Conservation Night is on April 10th. That is Friday night. There's still a lot of seats available for that. They will be having some auctions and some tiered raffles and a bunch of stuff for kids. So if you want to bring your family to that Friday night. There'll be some good prizes and events and stuff for children and kids and families, and they will be having a dinner. The banquet is the next night on Saturday the 11th. I want to say it's 95% sold out.
Oh, it's sold out.
It is sold out.
Sold out.
All right. Well, if you didn't get your tickets, too late.
It's sold out.
It's gone Friday. And then I heard the Homer Winter King tournament got moved.
Is it because all the ice that was
Yeah. I heard everything was all locked in over there.
Harbor's iced up. I believe they postponed it to April 4th.
Yep.
This next weekend or 2 weekends?
Yep, 2 weekends from now. Yeah. I'm going to Homer this coming weekend. We do the hockey tournament up there.
The old Ash Cup?
Yeah, and sometimes
Nice.
it combines with the Winter King tournament, which makes it fun because there's a lot of people down there.
Pretty fun.
It's a little bit busy. Yeah, they're both fun. The Winter King, we used to do the Winter King, man, all the yearly for like a decade, and then they kind of changed it. It used to be in like November. They used to do one like October, like early, and it always seemed like that was better. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, I always remember people killing the fish back then.
It just seems like things have changed a bit. So curious how it goes this year. What happened here?
Chad, you ever do the Homer King Derby?
Yeah, me and a good buddy of mine, my best friend, he was the one that bought the sweet boat. So
Hell yeah.
For several years we would go down. You get pretty sweet winter rates on those condos right next to the Land's End. So there'd be about 3 or 4 buddies we'd get together, pitch in on that, and then go down a couple days before the Derby and go do some fishing. And boat would be in the water the morning of, so we're not messing around with the launch. And then same thing, we'd stay the night, but just go into park the boat and stay the night, and then pull it out of the water the next day just to kind of get away from the rush.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it, actually.
But yeah, super fun event.
That is a fun event. Sucks when they got to change the dates and people like already made reservations, and then maybe you had plans with the family, and I think that's like Easter weekend. That kind of messes with some people's families.
Yeah, it'll kind of.
Also, there's the map of the they did cut off a lot. Holy
so
shit.
that little squiggly line,
Yeah.
that's Rainy Pass. That's what the Iditarod takes.
Okay.
But what they did, so the checkpoints here, Whiskey Bravo, they went up into this creek, and then they went, I didn't take it, but it's somewhere that pops out like straight to here.
Wow, okay.
So Hillary and I went all the way up this. This is Ptarmigan Valley.
That's where everybody was ahead of you now.
This is Hell's Gate, Brandon.
Okay.
That's where you guys went with, what's his name? Jack?
With Jack, yeah.
Virginia Jack.
Virginia Jack.
Yeah, we fucked.
Virginia Jack, yeah.
Love Virginia Jack. Cody, we apologize. We should have went with you.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Virginia Jack, but the other Jack actually set it up, and he didn't know that you had come into the podcast, and so he didn't know that we had a connection there.
Well, he called TAT.
Oh, he did.
And TAT's not big into hunting.
Okay.
It's like,
that's what he said too.
Yeah, what
He
we
mentioned
specialize in is that mountain stuff. And so it's like, it just keeps the business so busy that like branching off to go do a bunch of rafting and hunting and bloody meat and da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an exposure to risk and then also a departure from what's typical.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
getting out of
company-
your lane there.
Yeah. And so, TAT's pretty big in Talkeetna, so we're really busy with what we have going on. And so generally, I can usually talk him into fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, my buddy needs an honor load down to Cordova. And he's like, well, there's an extra plane. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Gotcha.
So, but the office is kind of trained to just be like,
Got it.
hunting? No.
Yeah.
Got it.
And so probably Jack called.
Yeah.
Jack Lau called. And
And I think
said, no,
actually
thank
we were talking to Joe McKinney, who was supposed to
That's right.
help out
Joe
some
McEnany?
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had just had him on, and then I don't know. I left that up to Jack's department, and
Well, I
that's
know
what
he had some
happened.
folks staying at his B&B that weekend we were supposed to go up, so we were trying to kind of coordinate that. And
I think there was some other
work
big
out.
deal. He had some Red Bull people or somebody coming up, some big skiers or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay, so that's where we flew.
we learned
in,
our
and
lesson
then
there, Cody.
Well,
we
so
busted up
that
into
little
the river.
squiggly line is typically the route that you would take to get, because Roan is right there. So you
Yeah.
obviously would fly in an airplane and just whoosh.
Yeah.
But Jack was saying he had to bring extra fuel to bring you all the way down here and go through the next available pass, which was Hell's Gate. So
Yeah.
you guys would have
Gotcha.
come through here, and then had to bring some extra gas and left.
That's what
less,
he meant by that.
Less gear.
Yeah.
Great, thanks for breaking that down.
Yeah. But I don't think that's the way we went, though.
We went through here and popped out right here and hit the trail instead of going all the way up.
Yeah.
That's what you guys did this year?
That's what they did.
Oh, that's what they
in the
did.
Iron Dog.
Okay.
That's where
2
you
years
saved
ago.
that like 18, 20 miles.
Yeah, it was about 18 miles that shaved off.
Yeah, that's a long
So,
time.
Let's
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
it
a
is.
race of attrition, and it's going on. That saved your body for 18 miles. That saved your sled for 18 miles.
Well, and it also kind of forces action as well. Now, all of a sudden, those teams are that much ahead. And the other teams now, on the next stretch of trail where there is no shortcut, the other teams have to push that much harder and hammer their sleds to try to catch back up. Now, all of a sudden, you're just kind of cruising, and they're just pushing, and breaking stuff and getting stuck, hitting trees.
Yeah. Love that chess match part.
Yeah.
All that stuff factors in.
Part of it. So what is the for you guys, what did practice look like? It seemed like we got a little bit better snow maybe this year than previous years, a little bit to get practice in. What was your guys' schedule like? Without giving away too many secrets.
Tim being in the valley in a sweet location to actually go ride practice. It's nice because we can leave right from his house. Me being on the peninsula, it's not a huge deal, just about 3.5 hour to drive up. Very
some windshield
fortunate
time.
with my work schedule that I'm allowed that week on, week off. So we just tried to, I think, balance what we knew we needed to get done in the garage versus, okay, we have a good opportunity to go train and clear some trail. So it was, I think it's just, and it's also kind of what's the weather doing? What's the conditions in this certain environment that we want to set a goal for this week? Okay, that's not going to work out. Let's go to plan B. Mm-hmm. And when we ended up doing that on a big push that we did later, about 4 weeks before the race, we had made a run from basically Tim's house to Fairbanks.
Wow.
But generally, you're trying to do at least 2,000 miles in training.
Okay.
And you want to kind of set up your practice sleds to be what you're going to run in the race. And then you can see how everything works with itself and what's going to break. And then you get to really know that setup intimately and tweak it throughout training.
So when you get to the race sled, is that like one of the few times you've been on that machine once the race starts?
Yeah, the first time I rode my race sled, typically you should get it from the factory, throw a little windshield on it, and go put 50 or 80 miles on it just to make sure it's not a lemon of some kind, which he did. I didn't because we didn't really have any snow up here. And so I'm like, well, I only have one race sled, so what am I? I'll find out now or I'll find out later. And so the first time I rode my race sled was, 4 days before the race?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went and did a little shakedown and just kind of got them race, basically, everything that we're going to take with us during the race, auxiliary fuel tanks, bags, all of our emergency gear that we're required to carry, tools, parts, and just get those sleds basically like the day they're going to leave the starting line.
Yeah.
And go see how it rides.
So when you guys are doing garage work, are you in your place in Sterling, like on Zoom call, or are you guys together?
No, I did a little bit of work this year. This was Tim and I's first year of partnering up. So I did there's some bracing and stuff that we usually do. It's kind of time consuming. It's not really difficult. It's just time consuming. So I kind of knocked that out on my own at my shop, and then brought my sled up to Tim's shop here in the valley. And then we both kind of finished out what we needed to be done.
Well, let's back up a little bit on that. Not the training part. What inspired the team up? Yeah. What? Because you raced with Wifey and other partners in the past, right, Tim?
Yeah, my wife raced first.
Okay.
Basically, we got our son into racing. We created the cross country races for kids.
Yeah.
I was on a training ride with him, and I was way too dad mode about it, and I was timing it, and she came along and got stuck, and I kind of barked at her and said, if you're going to come along, you got to keep up. And so she goes, well, I'm going to sign up for a race. So she raced a 200-mile race and then found a partner and signed up for Iron Dog. I had never done it. So I flew the plane.
Oh, right. Okay.
I was in 23. And so that's when we met these guys. And that year I was really trying to kind of bring what I could to the table. And so I was going out and breaking trail, helping people. I was, sharing information, carrying parts in the plane for people. And that's when I met Chad and his partner Travis, and they were super helpful. They actually stopped in the race on the trail and helped Hillary and her partner get unstuck, and that's kind of what we were going for. Like, hey, if you guys are coming from behind and you see them and they're they're not quite as strong as we are, and so if we get stuck, we can usually ski pull each other out. Well, it took two of them to do what usually one of us can do. And so they would always cut rest and leave ahead of the pack, take a shorter layover, and just because they had all these kind of older brother figures coming from behind them.
Got it.
So
help would be on the way maybe if needed.
Yeah, and it might be just a quick, ski pull,
quick
and then
yard.
they're out. Good job, girls. Keep going.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we met Chad that year and became friends, and then we would ride together every year. And his first partner, Travis, like one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. Great human being.
What's his last name?
Temple.
Travis Temple.
Yeah,
Okay.
great guy.
All right.
And unfortunately, he's had a few injuries. The same injury actually 2 years in a row. So that year in 23? No, 24. Travis and I had raced that year, but in 24 we were training, and he tore some ligaments and tendons in his elbow that basically controlled his grip.
Yeah.
So it put him out, and then I have a hard time just rolling over. So found another partner that year. It was Tom Davis.
Okay.
Ran with Tom,
Yeah.
awesome guy. And then Travis had surgery, got his elbow back to where he was feeling good, was doing some PT, and it was about 12 months prior. We were actually up with Tim and Hillary up at Squinta doing some more training, and we were kind of pushing a little hard, and he ended up popping his elbow again in the same place that he'd already had repaired.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And yeah, it's a total bummer. And so then that was, again, I couldn't just roll over, so found another partner a month before the
So
event
you
last
just
year.
constantly had to pivot.
I'm just going through them like a hoe, So no, I've found some good guys. the awesome, Shane Barber, the Barber family is absolutely awesome, and they've been a part of Iron Dog for many decades. So it was cool to get to run with them. Also, Shane had been I think that was his 19th year of doing Iron Dog. So, when you run with a guy like that, I mean, he's learned a lot over the years, and so it was great for me to be able to learn from him, and we did good, and then Tim and I had been talking, I think that year as well. I was like, yep, this is it, one more, we're done, and just to go concentrate, just because it eats up so much of your time, to try to maybe concentrate on some other adventures,
Totally.
And then me being me, I couldn't just roll over and not. And so I had contacted Tim.
No giving up.
Hey, they got they're projecting this new course. It'd be really cool to do it. What do you think? And he was like, oh, and he called me back. And I don't think I had to twist his arm too hard, but we decided to go ahead and match up for this last year. And
did you have to make sure Hillary didn't want to do it again?
Well, yeah, that's not exactly how it went. So.
2 sides to every story here.
Hillary did
come on, it sounded great.
Then
I was buying it.
Yeah, sold.
So then I did it with my partner, Joseph. He didn't want to do it again. Hillary did want to do it again, so it was natural. Her and I did it together. And then that was going to be it, because we had been canceling Christmas vacation, canceling travel with the kids, pouring all your resources into, all this time-consuming thing.
All that,
But once you're in it, you have all the parts, and you have extra sleds, and you know what works and what doesn't. And so once you're kind of going, you're almost on cruise control. And so there was this new route, and the new route, it's all of us are kind of just addicted to the race, right? So or say that we're done. Well, then he's talking to a buddy, and we're like, that new route seems pretty cool. And he goes, why don't you call Tim? So him, being conscientious, called Hillary first and said, hey,
plant the seed.
I was thinking about asking, but I wanted to check with you first.
Oh,
would
what a
that be
gentleman.
okay? And then and Hillary loves Chad and Travis, and so it was like, she's like, oh my God, that would be an amazing team. Yes. And so then he messaged me, probably a few minutes later.
He didn't take you out to eat or nothing?
What?
Take you to a glacier or something and ask you?
Nope. Didn't propose.
Wasn't very romantic.
I was in Talkeetna. I was clearing property and burning brush, and I was listening to Joe McEnany's podcast.
Wow.
And then he called and was like, or text, I think, and said, hey, do you want to run? And then I kind of hollered at Hillary. I'm like, Chad just asked me, and she goes, what? She acted surprised. And she goes, you got to do it. So it worked really good, and there's so much dynamics that goes on with partners. Like when he's talking about coming up to from Sterling and basically living at the house. Well, I have 2 kids and a wife, and they have a whole routine. Well, he walks in the house, and the kids run up and hug him, and they're like, hey, Parker, how was your birthday last week?
Uncle Chad.
And Parker's writing us little cards, I hope you have the best time with Chad on the Iron Dog, and I hope you have the best time with my dad. And, because he has 3 daughters, and obviously is a super, considerate, conscientious person, and knows how family dynamics work. And so if you say, hey, I'm going on a family vacation, he's like, cool.
Have fun.
Yeah, totally.
Family comes first. And so that makes the partnership work really well.
Yeah, what a cool match.
Yeah, it worked out well. I think just to, what I seen was that you got a guy that's super, super capable in the backcountry. Because when you want to partner up with a guy, you don't want to just go out into the abyss with someone you don't know. Are they going to fall apart when shit hits the fan?
Yeah.
So it's basically you're essentially trusting this other person with your life at some point, possibly
100%.
do you think? So that's why I was like, after he had rescued me a couple years earlier, when I put a sled in the drink.
Oh, that's right.
A creek. I think that's actually when we actually kind of met.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I was watching him work. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got some good ideas. All right, yeah,
I can get it done.
I can hang out with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that first year when we first met. Hillary was running. Hillary and I were out on the trail with another friend, and I had talked on the phone with Travis. I had talked on the phone with Chad. Never really met him, and then you pass each other on the trail and stop, and he's got a chainsaw in the back. And when you talk about training, this whole trail that Iditarod uses, the Iditarod Trail Invitational uses it, Iron Dog uses it. Iron Dog is first, and Iron Dog essentially opens it up. There is no trail breaking crew There's just us.
Yeah. When you're training, you're
Oh,
breaking
really?
it.
You go.
I didn't know that. You guys are having to break.
You break it
Wow,
yourself
The
beforehand,
Trailblazers.
Got it.
not during the race.
Okay, got it.
all of
The people that are
January-
practicing and doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, you go up and you usually sweet talk somebody into riding a wide track, which sucks to commute all the way because it's usually like Finger Lake to
The happy.
Puntilla is really hard, and there's all these beetle kill spruce that you might spend a full day cutting it and breaking it, and then there'll be a snow event followed by a wind
blow
event,
more down.
and then you go back 2 days later, and
Oh
it's
shit.
and so you do that again and again, but that's all really useful physical exercise.
Yep.
You're riding a sled.
Yeah, you're working
You're
out.
working hard. You're
Yeah,
just pouring
picking up
sweat.
logs, throwing them to the side.
And you feel good about it because it's not just for you guys; it's for the people coming after you and the mushers. And,
And camaraderie with your friends, and sharing stories. There's dudes out there that have run 22 iron dogs, and they're sharing stories of battles they've had and things they've seen break. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's so training for us when he talks about we're going to go work on the trail. It's really fun. We like going slow, and all of us joked this year, like next year we're not going to do the race. We're just going to get wide tracks and we're just going to
I'll go break trail.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
It is really
Yeah.
fun.
Type 2 fun, but
Yeah, it's something to do, right?
Yeah.
It sounds exciting, almost adventurous too.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you bump into animals. You
Yep.
got you get weird trail conditions, and man. that
When you're
sounds
traveling from roadhouse to roadhouse and going in, and you might help out there, Cindy.
great. Yeah,
might say,
they need
like,
some muscle, or they need some.
Oh, hey, we need some wood brought in, and we're like, okay, bringing in wood and soaking the fire and getting in some hot cookies, and then continue on. But on this occasion, we passed Travis and Chad. They were going with chainsaws, and then we headed back towards Squentna, and we have these Bluetooth intercoms in our helmets, and they Bluetooth to your phone. And I don't know how it happened on this occasion, but right around Shell Lake, there's a cell tower there, and you get service. And I didn't remember the phone ringing. I just all of a sudden remember Cindy from the Squentna Roadhouse. Her voice was all of a sudden in my helmet. And she goes, "Hey, where are you?" And I'm like, kind of looking around. Well, I'm in the Shell swamps. Where are you? And she goes, "Hey, Travis and Chad need help. Chad sunk his sled in a creek." And I'm like, "What? We just saw them like 10 minutes ago." Well, he had pulled up to this little creek crossing. I call it Chad Creek now. He pulled up to it. The skis are kind of resting on this ice ledge, and he kind of stepped off to like look down, and it's this like beaver pond stream, and so it's really deep. And he went to put his sled in reverse, and then he was just going to kind of lift the skis and go over it. Well, as soon as the sled moved at all, the ice shelf just gave out, and his sled
Collapsed.
It
plunked
was
straight
like
down.
immediately and so
shit.
I'm just like getting off it and clawing the other side because I don't want to get wet up to my neck.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
It's whatever, 10,
It was kind of
15
almost
below
like a
outside.
panicky kind of deal there.
So
I
I'm just
bet.
like, no. And then my sled just submerged.
And so
Engine,
there's
everything right in the water.
Yeah, while it was running, and it was, and then Travis and I, just the way it was positioned, and there's the two of us with our manpower, we attempted to try to get it out, but just the
It
two of
wasn't
us
moving.
and the tools we had at the time just wasn't, it wasn't going to work. So we had reached Cindy at the roadhouse and said, "Hey, we have a sled in the water. I'm wet to my knees. Not a huge deal," but she immediately, Tim's on the way, and then there's the local that lives out there as well, Calvin Flanagan, and she had messaged Calvin, and he was on the way as well with dry socks and clothes, and Tim,
It's so cool, man. What a community.
Tim shows up, and he's like, "I think we
badass.
can get your sled out and get it running." And it's like, and I'm cold. I'm getting cold because I'm wet, and so these guys start a big fire, and I get my stuff off and kind of dry out, get warm, and then we were able to. I think there was four of us.
four of us. It was
we
me
were
and
able-
Kelly and you and Chad, or you and Travis.
And with the four of us, we were able to kind of maneuver the machine and get it drug out, and then get it on its side, pull the plugs, pull the pipe, and start getting the water out of it, and then we got it running and rode it back to Willow.
Wow.
Yeah, and
rode it
actually,
back.
since we doubled back and went kind of double the distance,
That's where you guys really bonded.
no. So we
Riding
didn't.
two up together.
No,
That's
we
where it
didn't.
was.
We're too
We weren't too up.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Like,
saying.
all right,
easy.
got nice and close.
So my group had gone to the Happy and back, which you can make Squentna Happy River back on fuel, but you're showing up empty.
On fumes, yeah.
And so since we stopped, went back to help, and we did an extra 20 miles, I ended up running out of fuel. And he ends up towing me into the Swindon Roadhouse on the submerged sled.
Yeah, on the old waterlog.
Not only did we
double
pull it out
save.
and get it running, but I ended up getting towed home by that sled.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was easy to overlook that detail with all the
We
fireworks.
didn't. We
right?
actually swung in and got 5 gallons from Winter Lake Lodge, and it just wasn't quite enough. We made it like 15 miles from the end, but
Okay.
you know, once you're there, you're pretty home free. There's lots of cabins, and we know lots of people, and you got
Yeah.
cell service.
Yeah.
What a cool story. I really, man, I just have recently, even my own experience a few weeks ago, like just remembering the true authenticity of like Alaskans looking out for Alaskans and good people doing good things for good people. And like, man, it's just a cool, it still exists. I think you lose sight of it living in the city. I think we might have touched on this last week, but I was kind of complaining about town when we were walking in the building. I was like, this fucking city, man. But yeah, there's, you know, on those small communities, everybody still looks out for each other.
Yeah,
time.
for
You
sure.
know?
For sure.
On the
It
race,
exists.
all the places that we stay are with local host families. And I mean, you'll sit down to dinner and it'll be a big spread of, you know, ribs and all this stuff. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, wow, this is probably pretty expensive to ship out here. And they're going, you know, sorry, there's not more vegetables. This is all that we have.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, here, let us pay for this. They're like, nope.
Yeah.
When we come to town to, we know where you live, maybe feed us. But yeah, it's humbling.
Yeah.
You know, people just give you the shirt off their back, give you their
man.
last
Love that, man.
vegetables
Great.
that they have.
I love that.
And what I'm learning, maybe even in my mid 40s, as I'm approaching those, you just, the most important thing is to just keep your phone line open
Oh yeah.
and your text line open, right?
Yeah.
Like you just never know when they might need you,
Yep.
and to be available and show up when you can for that, because that's how you pay it back.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's never money or
No.
meat or the thing that, you know, might be helpful in the moment, but it's really about like later down the road when it's, you know, you don't anticipate it or they don't anticipate it and they need you and you don't know that they need you, but
Right.
you're willing to help them out. And I think that's where it always pays forward.
Yeah. Who did the plane work this year for you guys? And kind of explain to people like what, I don't think people know that you guys have someone like following along, helping out.
Yeah, not always. Like, so I flew the plane for Hillary because that was kind of a given. We have a plane and I'm a pilot. And that was another, you know, big deal in our relationship. Chad and I, he threw some parts in the plane with us and then broke a clutch in like the most remote stretch. And he and Travis had to turn around and tow all the way back to Ruby while the rest of the field continued on to McGrath and beyond. So all of a sudden they were way behind.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. and I get a text from Travis that says, we need you to drop a secondary clutch in Ruby in the morning. I'm walking. Chad left me. And I get that at like 3 a.m. and woke up to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what? What do you mean he left you?
So we were towing for a long time. I think that had occurred we were southbound heading back to Big Lake. We had left Portman. The clutch grenaded probably about 20 miles southbound of Portman. So we towed back to Portman. At that year, Portman was not a layover checkpoint, so we couldn't lay over there and get off the clock. And so then we towed. It was about probably, I don't know, it was probably 80 to 90 miles that night. We had towed back to Ruby.
Wow.
And then while we were
It must
towing,
have seemed like an eternity.
it was a long time. And then, so I hear Travis yelling at me behind me, and I'm like, so I stop, and I was like, what? You know, what do you want? And at that time, we were using a tethered style radio that was powered from the machine, and the unit was on the machine. We plugged into our helmets that year, and I thought he had said, hey, plug your radio in. And so I was like, yeah, okay, and plug my radio in and turn around and get on my sled and start towing again. And then when you're towing through that, it was a single track. There was a lot of snow that year, so just trying to like stay focused, don't blow a corner, don't do something stupid where we're going to get stuck or whatever. And so I'm just going as fast as I can. And trying to get back to Ruby and off the clock. And so going for quite a while, I'm like, man, this thing's towing sweet. And I look behind.
Where's Travis,
where I get, this is in the middle of the night in the pitch black. I look back just to kind of, when I could, just a quick glance. And he'd been leaving his snow machine running. So he'd have handlebar warmers.
Oh, okay.
And so I looked back and I didn't see the headlight on. And so I'm like, and then I can't see nothing because, again, it's pitch black back there 20 feet behind me. And so I stopped and I'm like, hey, Travis. And nothing. I was like, Travis. And then I get off my sled and walk back there and, well, there's nobody on it.
Empty tow rope.
And no, the
sled was there. He was there.
Sled's there, but no rider.
That's crazy that it just tracked along behind you like that.
Great. And
it's better without him.
So then I'm like, Travis. And I was like, ah, shit. And so there was so much snow that I couldn't like go turn around. So I just untied his machine, pulled my machine in its single track because I didn't want to get off and get stuck. And then just for curiosity, I looked down, just looked at my tack just to see how far. I didn't know if he'd gotten ripped off by a tree or what had happened. And anyway, so I get back and it's like 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. I'm like, he's gonna be pissed. And then 4 miles, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be really pissed, and because he's out in the middle of nowhere, and he has nothing because it's all on his sled that I took from him.
Oh, he was probably.
He had his inReach.
He had his inReach. He was texting me,
but no other survival gear or anything.
Oh no!
And finally, about 5.5 miles, I see him walking in the trail, and I roll up there, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, just stretching my legs." And I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Do you want to ride?" He's like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And like, what do? You get into a pissing match or something,
Yeah. I guess that would be the easy
he
thing.
Took it like a champ. And so what he had really said when we stopped, he didn't say plug your radio in. He said, "Hold on, I got to take a piss." And so I basically
like, Roger that.
He's probably just like, what the?
Basically left him with
back, right?
Left him with his the dick in his hand.
Yeah.
See you later.
Radio's on. See ya.
Getting back to that particular year, getting back to planes, Tim, we did get a clutch dropped off from Tim, and had we not had that aircraft available, we would have scratched that year.
Yeah.
So planes are, if you can make it happen, they're a pretty crucial part of your race.
Yeah. Some guys flying help multiple teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard because those teams would have to be comparable. Like if you had a team that was at the back of the pack, that was at the front of the pack,
so
you're
really
trying
competing
to
with each
decide
other.
which one, because we're all pretty loyal to our brand.
Yeah.
And so really what happens is you're flying for one team, and then if you get their blessing, you give out parts to the same brand.
Okay, got it.
Because it's like your team, and then in our case, Team Polaris.
Yeah.
But usually, you have that discussion beforehand. Like, hey, tell your pilot, like, don't hand out a single part without getting an okay from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hillary and I didn't have a plane. And then, or Joseph and I didn't have a plane. Hillary and I didn't have a plane. And so I personally had never had a plane. He had a friend who was going to fly for us and then canceled. He had a family emergency pop up. And then he had another friend that was going to fly for us. And I guess the obvious solution is I'm a pilot. I have lots of friends who are pilots. But I think as a pilot, you're really picky about what's the caliber of this pilot? How good are they going to be at rural Alaska flying? Like landing, taking care of the plane, walking into town, meeting random people, finding a place to stay, taking care of logistics.
Yeah.
And then also somebody who has mechanical knowledge, because they're your support crew. They're flying around parts for you. Like, hey, I need a left lower A arm.
Do you know what we're even talking about?
Do they have any idea what you're even talking about? And so I just had never. I had one person in mind who flies for Talking Air Taxi because he, has a background snow machine racing, not in this century, but he used to race in the 80s. Great friend of mine. So, yeah, we had two pilots fall through. And by then there was like so much kind of emotional up and down, while before I was kind of like, you don't even need a pilot. Because when Hillary ran, the weather was so bad on the coast that I was able to follow them for the first 2 days. And then essentially I didn't see them again until probably day 6.
You were grounded.
I sat in Galena and became like a resident of Galena. I was shoveling people's decks. I was working on kids' snow machines. I just trying to like hope that this woman wouldn't charge me for 6 days straight in this Airbnb. And so I was like, I fixed her kids 120. I fixed her sister's kids 120.
What can I do for you?
I shoveled the deck. I did all the linens and everything. You know? I took one guy flying. I took Tyler Huntington flying, looking for wolves. You know, he's trying to track a pack of wolves. Anyways,
what a neat experience, though.
So finally, after all this emotional roller coaster, I called my friend Andy, and he has a mall in M7, and like a week before the race, and he was really diligent. I mean, I sent him a PDF of the rules. He read that cover to cover, and then came down to the banquet and had all these, you know, relevant questions. So hey, I see here that you can only accept parts in a checkpoint. You know, so I can't land on the trail and give you parts. I'm like, yes, absolutely, that's true. And so when you land here, you're going to call this person. And so I share all these contacts in every single checkpoint, and he saves all those. And because he's got to figure out his own logistics, and that's maybe why I didn't want that stress. I didn't want to be worried about the plane and also worried about my race. But Andy was fantastic. He crushed it. And he actually, so we broke apart this year in that same stretch where Chad left Travis. And it's the most remote stretch between Ophir and Poorman. It's like 100 miles.
Yeah, roughly.
And really, Ophir is nothing. Poorman is nothing. It's just kind of, they set up those checkpoints.
Oh, there's no like shelters or really?
There's shelters. They're uninhabited. So Poorman being an abandoned mining community, kind of a lot of that hold out of that interior Alaska, like Iditarod and Cripple and those other, you know, townships that used to be there, but they're no longer inhabited. So there is like a little cabin in Poorman. They set up there used to be a cabin in Ophir. Something happened, it burned down. But they set up like a wall tent with a checker now there. So I mean, if you needed shelter, there is also, and then there are shelter cabins as well through that section too, I believe. But it's
pretty desolate though.
But as far as like logistics, I mean, if you pull into Kotzebue, you know, there's a few thousand people, and at least 1,500 of them own Polaris snowmobiles. Yeah. And so you can go off the clock, get on Facebook, and say, I need a set of torsion springs. And people come out of the woodwork because they love Iron Dog and they want to help. And so they're just giving you parts off their site.
Gotcha.
But from McGrath to Ruby, it's basically 200 miles of nothing, none of that. There's some trappers on Scandics, but really nothing. And so if you're going to break apart, that's the worst possible place to break apart. Yeah. And so we broke and then had to go to Poorman. The runway is overgrown, and so but it's a layover checkpoint now, so you can get parts dropped out of the
by
plane
the rule you can
at the checkpoint. And so I had in-reached Andy and said airdrop, and I got it okay with the checker that was there. I just confirmed like, hey, the airdrop is allowed here now that we can lay over here. And he said yep. And so Andy flies over and drops out this red bag. Come to find out it was the wrong part, and we ended up we ended up getting the part off another racer who came through a little bit, like a couple minutes after us, and we knew they were coming as well from InReach Communication. Yeah, it was actually his daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
They pulled in, and we just said, hey, your dad said the parts are here and here on your sleds. Can we take those? And they're like, yeah, good. And so we took them. So the plane would have saved our bacon if
you had the right
parts. But, you know, anyways, it's just,
I mean, that's part of it
maybe the lesson learned is label stuff better in the plane, you know, but I put little pieces of tape on everything, like, because we're adding
like color-coded type deal?
Yeah, you know, like, you know, left, lower, A-arm, Gossett, you know, so that after when we're unpacking the plane, I know
who's taking what.
That was, excuse me, my part, you know, so you don't have a big mixture.
Got it.
And so maybe label stuff more, maybe inventory what's in the plane. But
and then he'd committed like what, a week before the race.
Andy,
yeah.
Okay,
so we were searching. So typically,
right.
you know, you have all that done before you can get started building sleds in the fall.
Yeah.
Well, ideally, you would have that done.
Yeah. So this year, how many race teams were there, and what was the makeup of like Polaris versus Skidoo? Was there Arctic Cat come back this year?
There was.
It was, okay.
I think, one Arctic Cat team, 2 Lynx teams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then usually it's majority Polaris and slight minority Skidoo.
Okay.
But that kind of shifted this year, and there were slightly more Skidoo teams
really?
than there were Polaris.
Why do you think that is?
I think a couple just people that had typically ran Polaris didn't run this year, and some people had made brand swaps as well.
Got it.
For what reasons they decided to do that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was some teams that were historically on Polarises that were on Ski-Doo this year.
Yeah. You guys like to see more brands come in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's only good that comes out of more brands, more competition, more development.
So Team 7 won this year, right?
Yeah.
On MXZs.
Yeah, on Ski-Doos.
Yep.
Wow. So that new MXZ is like kind of
That wasn't
risen to the occasion with the, because it's been Polaris for like the last decade, right? I mean,
No.
really? Okay.
I think it also depends on the rider. Like, so
Oh, totally.
Yeah, of course.
that team,
Yeah.
Tyler just got his 5th win.
Yeah,
Nick
he's
Golstad just got his 7th win.
Yeah, those guys have been
those
around a
dudes
while.
could switch to Polaris, and then you'd be talking about. But each brand, like I think right now, our front suspension is better. Their rear suspension is pretty strong. Our power plant is really strong. We got a new motor last year, and it's fast.
Oh, is that
I think in the ice
reliable
races
too?
Yep.
Okay.
So the ice races down south, like Skidoos, have kind of stopped showing up because that motor is strong. So they came out with a new injection system and throttle bodies this year, and so their sled next year is expected to be, at least able to keep up with us. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. We're all such great friends that I see the individuals kind
Versus
of slightly
the brand.
less.
Yeah.
I love Polaris, and I have all the Polaris tools, and I've ridden them forever, and have no complaints about it.
Yeah.
But I know, like in one instance, a new partnership was formed from 2 longtime friends. One had raced for Polaris, and one had raced for Skidoo, and the one who raced for Skidoo had, I guess, stronger connection. Like, and said, I want to stay Skidoo. And so the one guy brand swapped and became a Skidoo team rather than, so we lost a Polaris team because of that. So,
Got it. What's the, how do you guys feel? I personally feel as if the popularity is improving. Like, I want to say I saw more Iron Dog stuff going on this year than I've ever seen. Coverage, I don't know if it's just because my algorithm, my feed, or I know more of you guys that are racing. Seems like the prizes were looking good. What's your guys' opinion on that stuff?
I think it's definitely probably growing into and is or close to the largest winter sporting event in Alaska. I mean, I'd say it's right there with Iditarod, or maybe has even surpassed it.
Yeah.
As far as popularity goes. And I think a big part of that too is with technology, you're getting so much more live feed, and when you roll into a village, so there's people going live on different social media platforms, and so like you said, algorithms, people are seeing this, and you're getting followers from not just Alaska or the US, you're getting global recognition from this race now. So
but I think by the numbers as well, financially, it has grown considerably in the last few years.
That's good.
Yeah. They've had some, they had, I think the last 3 years prior to this year, they had some really good people within Iron Dog's internal program as well, as far as Iron Dog, as far as, their past directors.
He has a new leadership too, isn't there now?
Oh, you got a new director, Rick Kett. Guy's awesome. I think he's doing really well, for a guy that came in and basically just got it dumped on his plate. He had a pretty challenging year this year. It was a challenging Iron Dog this year. So I think himself and the rest of the board and everybody within that organization did the best they could with the hand they were dealt.
Yeah.
There's a new president of the board. So there's some new leadership in there, and there's always going to be growing pains taking something over, no matter I think what you do. So I think they did a great job, honestly.
What about in general, more people riding?
Yeah.
Do you think in general more people are riding?
I don't know. Your opinion is almost more valid than ours because you're
in it. You're so immersed in it.
In it that it seems like, in my feed is nothing but snowmobiles in the winter.
Personally, from my point of view, I would say that it seems as if there's a lot more people riding.
I think there's a
And
lot
not
more.
just like riding like mountain, like people are getting into more like trail stuff and race stuff and, you know, just cabin putt around stuff. Maybe it's because my age group and we're like, you know, into like we're getting cabins now, we're into doing this stuff. And I just recently started riding like last year.
Yeah.
So it just, maybe that's part of why I'm like more attuned to what's going on.
Yeah.
I think like once you get out there and you start, and like if that's your personality as being an adventurous type of individual, and then like yourself getting on a snowmobile for, you know, starting to recreate quite a bit in the wintertime, and you see what it opens up, like what you can do in the adventure side of things, like going and riding. Like the first time I rode a snow machine through the Alaska range, I was just like, holy shit, this is some big country.
Yeah.
This is so cool. This is for me.
Yeah. That's how I feel right now. And I feel like I've been missing out for years and years and years. Like, what the
because you
fuck?
kind of
What have I been doing? What have I been doing this whole time?
kind of avoided
You know?
the riding scene there back in the day when.
Well, back in the day, I was
majority
really
of
into
us
snowboarding, and then my brother and all these guys got into riding. And you know how these guys get really good, and they don't want to go with a rookie, and you know the guy's getting stuck or whatever. So I went several times, you know, when in my 20s, and then just kind of went a different path. And then once all your buddies are so good, like they don't want to go with you if you suck. And so
Well,
I just
yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
was like,
this
oh, I'll
changed a
focus
little
on
bit.
something else. And now it's like I'm trying to get everyone back into it.
I think certain things take over too. You know, when I was young, lived it when I was in my early 20s as well, and then got married, had a family, you know,
kids.
and then it's just like that kind of got put on the back burner and for several years, and then thankfully raised my kids up, and they really enjoy riding. My wife really enjoys it.
Oh, that's cool. You guys do it as a family too.
You know, we do that, and I think that is a big part of it. Like if you're getting into it with your family,
Yeah, totally. Now
and
we're
they're-
like, I need 2 more machines so
Yeah.
my kids can ride and I can ride with the wife. You
Dad,
know?
I want this. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, totally.
Get where you got 15 grand sitting because
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't just go buy a 3-place trailer and some sleds for 10 grand anymore. I don't know. That's like a thing.
It's not a cheap sport, but it's definitely a fun sport.
Yeah, for sure.
And it can be super fun for your whole entire family. Or you can be selfish and just go race too. And as long as your family's on board, then it's all good.
They support it. Yeah. I pulled up some quick history. It looks like so this year's 26 roster was 31 official pro class teams, and the highest entered in history, from what I can tell, is 2008 with 42.
Yeah.
So there's a little fluctuation. I'm assuming the average is like 30, 35, 30.
Since
Probably.
I want to say the first year I did it, which was in 22, I want to say there was like 26 teams or 27 teams, but it seems like that 30 mark, give or take, is kind of the base, at least for my experience.
Well, that seems like a healthy number. I mean, if you had 40 teams in some of these checkpoints, I mean, where does everybody stay?
Right?
Yeah,
You know, these are really small
we
communities.
talked about airplanes, like how many planes are flying and trying to find a place to land, and you know all
Yep.
that.
And, you know, lap traffic and, you know, the trail conditions getting blown out. And
then there is a max as far as the event goes, because they do, you know,
Oh, yeah, they have
what a lot
permits.
of people don't see behind the scenes of Iron Dog is they got to get permits for this event to cross BLM land and this through this because this is a sanctioned event.
Yeah.
So I believe I don't know what it is now. I'm assuming it's probably close to, if not the same, but it also includes the expedition riders. But Iron Dog is allotted 150 participants on the trail. So you got 30 teams. There's 60 guys right there.
Yeah,
You get 40, you know, there's 80 guys. Plus
okay.
you got an expedition class and an ambassador class that might equal up to 25, 30 teams themselves.
true.
So they're
Oh, I didn't know they limited it like that.
Yep, and that's what BLM says. Yes, you can have this
many
X
people.
amount of people, and like I said, I don't know what it is today, but I'm going to assume it's probably somewhat the same. But a couple years ago, it was 150 individuals during the event.
Got it. Now is there? I know I've asked this before, but I forgot. Is there like preliminary races to qualify, or is it like if you feel like you can do it, you can just sign up?
yeah, I think
There
it's
is no qualification.
no qualification.
Okay.
No qualifiers. I did it out as qualifiers.
Okay.
But I think you have the added nuance of, these people are traveling some really remote stretches on dog teams with all these, 16 dogs that they have to take care of as well. And so it's not just their lives that they're risking. They're, risking all these canine athletes' lives as well. For us, we're just risking our own lives. And so we can sign the waiver. And then you're really, if the longest stretch is 100 miles, well, that means you're 50 miles from somebody who can come and you can jump on their sled and leave yours behind.
Yeah.
The dog teams, when they get rescued, you have to go out there and then they have to bring all the dogs back too. So they bring a couple wide tracks, Siglins. It's more difficult to rescue a dog team than it is one single iron dog racer.
Yeah. Has there been, I know this year was like, they had like that billionaire guy that from Norway or something that like ran the race. Has there ever been some big wig from somewhere that wants to just do the iron dog? And
I think I don't know, I can't say if it's like some big wig, but I know some of the major sponsors as far as like Donlin Gold.
Okay.
They've had some of their executive members participate in the expedition class and the ambassadors, which the ambassadors, they kind of go out first. A lot of times if they have the time, they try to schedule it where they do. They'll do some presentations in these villages about snow machine safety, and then there's maybe for the helmet program that Iron Dog usually gives out 250 to 300 helmets to village kids every year. So they'll do like go to the schools, they're out a couple days before us, and they're typically doing that. And your ambassadors are usually made up of either past champions,
retired guys,
guys that aren't wanting to
big sponsor people.
Not all of them actually, but
2 years ago it was Robbie Shackle, who was a past champion. Dee Dee Johnrow, she was on the ambassador class, and so somebody to go ahead and then talk to kids, give presentations in schools on helmet safety and backcountry safety, and so they kind of travel ahead, and they're almost like ambassadors to the sport, traveling ahead.
Okay. Yeah, like spreading the gospel as the race is about to come through, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the expedition guys are what? Just like,
I mean,
guys that want to do the race but not be as competitive?
I think that they're not in a competitive race. They're going on a pretty a very challenging ride. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a breeze for them. They're going through all the same environments that we're going through. So, I mean, they're going to deal with ground storms. They're going to deal with skipping rivers. They're going to be out on the coast where it's not always enjoyable.
Riding in the mud, scuffing water puddles.
Yep.
So but are they riding like, wide tracks and expeditions and stuff? Or are they?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yep. There's sometimes. And then they might have a group of like 4 guys.
Okay.
Like maybe it's 4 buddies that always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And just life didn't allow it, but now they're at a point that they can. Big bucket list item, and they're going out and they want to go have fun.
And that's something you can just sign up.
Yep, anybody can sign up. For expedition or pro.
Well, I mean, you still run the risk of beating the shit out of your sled. I mean, you got to still have it built, or maybe can you just pull one out of the box and get away with that?
Maybe
if you take it slow.
I mean, I don't know.
If you're a good mechanic, you can.
Yeah, okay. I'd say so. I mean, I might check a few.
There are stretches that you need additional fuel, and so you're going to have to devise some way to bring additional fuel, whether that's in a flexible bladder or some sort of plastic jerry can that like Skidoo's Link system, or Polaris has Lock and Ride, where you can have a 2.5 gallon can, and if you go slow enough, maybe that's enough. Like we have auxiliary fuel tanks that are built, and then
your saddle tanks, right? Or
not very many people use saddle tanks anymore. That means that they're on the sides on the running board. Now we're kind of back to being up on the tunnel, and it's kind of integrated into the back of the tank and the seat.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it's plumbed in through the vent, and so as your fuel tank is. The fuel is leaving it, it's wanting air to vent. And so you just you plumb it in from the auxiliary tank, and so it's pulling fuel in through its vent, and then that tank has vented itself. And so until the auxiliary tank is empty, no air is entering the main tank to vent the main tank.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, yeah, because we were doing a few years in a row, I was doing Mike Morgan's auxiliary tanks.
Yep.
And that must have recently just changed with those.
I believe Mike's one of the few teams that are using saddle tanks.
Still running saddles? Okay, got it.
Why do you work for Anchor Sheet Metal?
No, he would bring them to me after the sheet metal did their work, and we would paint them for him at the body shop.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was just kind of a way to donate and help out. And
Nice.
he'd like pick out a cool metallic black or something. It's fun to be like part of Iron Dog in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
You know?
it takes a lot of. I mean, we get a lot of help. Even a lot of people, almost every team does. They got a buddy that's a badass TIG welder, or
Yeah.
there's
they got
there's
to in somewhere
Yeah,
to help
and so
out.
you're like, hey, I know you think you can help me out with this, and usually most people are pretty accommodating.
Yeah, no, I always would try to sweet talk my painter, and he'd be like, just let me throw him in the booth. He never questioned it.
Yeah.
It was always just a cool little throwdown.
Yep.
But
So what are you guys thinking for 2027?
So our goal this year when we partnered up was, all right, let's get together for 1 year. We're both going to be done. I think we probably, if we ride smart, keep it clean, we probably are capable for a top 5. Let's try for a top 5. So we ended up 4th.
Yeah.
And we were at Pikes, at the awards banquet at the end. And, our family is elated and everybody's so proud of us. And the kids got signs. And we kind of looked at each other. We're like, man, 4th place sucks. It's like first, second, and third are like holding these
And you guys
champagne
are over
bottles.
here.
And they're pouring champagne all over each other. And you're like, and you lost, a 2.5 or more hours on this one part that we forgot to pack that we intended to pack.
Yeah.
And so that
that burns.
that little thing, he
it.
called me 2 days after the race and he goes, well, hey, so take some time to think about it. You don't have to get back to me right away. And I just cut him off. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so
like that.
while we had told, like in my case, we told my in-laws, like, all right, we're done after this. Because they like to go to Hawaii, like all of January.
Yeah.
And when Hillary and I are racing, or Hillary's racing, or I'm racing, we need you guys to be right down the street.
Yeah, for the
And
kiddos.
so a couple days after the race, they check in with us, and they go, okay, so we're looking at Airbnbs on Molokai in January. What's the plan? And we go, actually, we're both going. So Hillary's going to race again next year with a female partner.
Oh, okay. Right on.
And they talked today and confirmed it.
Oh, sweet.
And
Oh,
then,
wow.
And you
Perfect
two.
timing.
and then we're both going
There you
again.
go again. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Congrats,
Awesome, man.
boys.
And the conversation.
Hawaii always be there.
Yeah.
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 So the race, but
Yeah.
we got to go.
I know, but I'm not going
You can always go to Hawaii any age, though. You
will
can't
not-
race forever.
I will not always be race ready.
Yeah.
Hawaii will always be ready for me.
Yes, exactly. exactly. That's funny. Let's take a break. Well,
wait,
sorry,
before you go, let me
Yeah.
hit it. I want to do a segment plug.
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
before
do
we
that.
go. Yeah, man. Where am I at here? The segment was brought to you by Northern Waste, locally owned, locally grown, offering waste management solutions since 2017. New residential services are now available with curbside trash removal and recycling options in Anchorage, Eagle River, Chugiak, Birchwood, and Peters Creek. To set up your service, visit their website today at northernwaste.com. Pretty iconic day in Alaska history today. Wanted to share this with our listeners and the team here. On this day in Alaska history, March 24th, 1989, the Exxon Valdez supertanker ran aground on Bly Reef in Prince William Sound, spilling approximately 11 million gallons of crude oil into the pristine waters of our beautiful Prince William Sound. This catastrophic event, considered one of the worst oil spills in U.S. history, affected 1,300 miles of coastline and devastated local wildlife and the ecosystem. That was nasty.
Wow.
I was really young when it happened, but
That was what year?
1989.
I was 1. My father was a commercial fisherman, and my mother was a bush pilot that worked in the commercial fishing industry. So it was
shit.
huge for them.
Did they help out on the cleanup?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, big time. They both made a lot of money
sure.
on the cleanup.
Yeah. My dad was in the teeth of his commercial fishing career there, and after that, his boat he was working on, they all basically contracted out for cleanup, and didn't fish that year, that fall. So, pretty crazy. I mean, you go out there today, you don't really notice any effects from it, even though I'm sure it's still felt. But pretty amazing how an ecosystem recovered from something like that. I mean, obviously there was a lot of human impact and help to clean up the best we could, but there's a lot of oil that spilled that we were never able to get cleaned up too, and had to go somewhere. We were saying this day in Alaska history, the Exxon Valdez ran aground by a reef.
Yep.
Yeah.
Changed a lot of shipping laws, actually.
Did. Yeah. I guess. So I did a little research. The cause is that the ship went off course to avoid ice and didn't return to its lane in time, and ultimately drug the reef. And they say that the captain was
Possibly inebriated.
Under the influence.
Inebriated was a word I was looking for. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
Investigators found that that he was allegedly had some drinks at a bar prior to jumping on the boat that night, and that it was really the cause of a just a taxed crew and pushing guys to the limit in terms of their hours and that, and it was just an oversight. But there's a book called The Spill. I guess it's a pretty good read. Kind of get some insight on that. Yeah. And then I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie. There's a really very unknown, like at least in my opinion, an unknown movie about the oil spill that I
didn't know there was one.
Exactly. I stumbled across it one time. I think back when we were poaching HBO and the cable, and your buddy that worked for a cable company got you like the black box or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like randomly stumbling across it. And did you find it?
Yeah, it's called Dead Ahead, the Exxon Valdez disaster.
What was that? Was it made in like late 90s?
92.
Oh, so okay. Wow, right after the incident.
Yeah, so they probably didn't have all the facts.
It was B-roll. It was wasn't very good, or not B-roll, but B-list, C-list actors. I think wasn't really.
Did it have Steven Seagal in it? I just asked.
He's pretty big back then, dude.
Wasn't there one he was in that had something to do with an offshore drilling?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and it wasn't even. Yeah. Well, there was some filmed in Valdez, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, man.
You can watch it on YouTube.
All right, everyone got homework tonight. Go watch the Dead Ahead.
Dead Ahead.
We'll be right back.
Yeah. Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation, an Alaskan nonprofit organization established in 2014. With members throughout the United States and an increasing number of international members, this volunteer-driven organization works to facilitate science-based management of wild sheep and wildlife conservation. Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation financially supports various departments and conservation projects through raffles and live auctions, along with hosting its annual banquet event. The fundraiser features opportunities to win hunting and fishing trips, Alaska Governor's tags, custom firearms, optics, outdoor equipment, and more. A membership with Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation is paramount to the organization's success. Join today at akwildsheep.org.
Welcome to Game Day Men's Health Clinic, South Central Alaska's premier men's health clinic, offering a unique and convenient experience for all men looking to improve their health and perform at their best. At Game Day, your initial consultation is free. You heard that right, free. Men, when was the last time you had a checkup? Do you know your numbers? At Game Day, they specialize in TRT, ED, peptides, and medical weight loss programs to formulate a health treatment plan and help find your maximum self. How does it work? Step 1, discover your T levels. Step 2, create a game plan. Meet with their team and create a program based on your health needs and goals. Step 3, after qualifying, begin treatment with fast weekly appointments and effective results. Be the best husband, father, professional, and man that you can be. Contact Game Day Men's Health Clinic to reclaim your life. Start your journey today and book a free appointment at GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Grizzly Expeditors and Taxidermy, locally owned and family operated right here in Anchorage, Alaska. Grizzly Expeditors and Taxidermy is the culmination of more than 30 years of experience, commitment, and dedication to the taxidermy industry. Owner Christian Benitez has assembled one of the most well-rounded and skilled taxidermy teams in Alaska, offering a one-of-a-kind experience and world-class results. Services offered include big and small game taxidermy, in-house fleshing and tanning, ADF&G certified sealing for black bears, brown bears and furs, along with free airport pickup and drop-off to help get your trophy home. For additional information and to review their pricing sheet, visit grizzlyexpeditors.com, or better yet, swing by the shop located off of Arctic and 58th Avenue. Grizzly Expeditors and Taxidermy, your one-stop taxidermy shop. Something about to die over here?
Yeah, the laptop.
You're on like 2%?
I don't know. It's flashing at me. Flashing at me there.
And that was a long walk to the bathroom. My legs are kind of stiff.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm freaking, for some reason, sitting in this chair, this angle, like, sometimes it'll, like, tighten my hamstrings up. I got a little thing going on. I'm, like, constantly stretching my leg out.
Well, you know what other connection you guys have is hockey.
Oh, yeah.
All these guys play hockey.
Oh, you played some puck?
I'm washed up hockey player. We all are. No, I haven't played competitively since I was like 19 years old, but I grew up playing hockey from 4 to then.
And you grew up in Sterling?
On the Kenai Peninsula.
Okay.
I actually grew up in Soldotna, the town there, and then my grandfather homesteaded in Sterling in the 50s.
Oh, cool.
And then, so I spent a lot of time out there at our family's homestead. Basically, like when, I'd get into mischief or trouble, for better words. Dad just take me out and drop me off out there because Grandpa was like slave labor,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Like, hey, I need you to dig this 200-foot ditch with this shovel. I was like, why don't we use that excavator right there? And he's like, no. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah. There you
go, boy.
Here's a file when you need to sharpen it.
Get a few calluses on your hands.
So, and then I had ended up purchasing a part of the homestead and built my house out there and raising my kids out there. So we still, the family still, we kind of almost live like on a compound, if you will.
Okay.
We live on the Moose River. So
oh, right on.
It confluences into the Kenai there.
Yeah.
So we're about 2 miles up from the bridge there. And then, so it's like my place. My mom and dad moved into the original homestead house. I got an uncle that lives over here, another uncle that lives over here,
Oh, that's
and other
cool.
cousins that live over here.
That's
We can't
awesome.
see each other.
Yeah.
It's all pretty spread out, but it's pretty nice. Especially if you you leave state or something like that, or it's just like there's always somebody around to keep an eye on things, come kick the dog or whatever. And
Yeah. Snow blows, the wind drifts.
so
Reset your boiler.
reset the boiler.
Yeah.
Gets pretty cold there though. It's Sterling's definitely
like
unique.
a low pocket.
It's kind of like the Fairbanks of the Kenai Peninsula. It's kind of interior of the peninsula there, and I mean we had 2 weeks straight of negative 40 or lower this winter.
Yeah, dude. It was pretty brutal this
During
year.
that big fire that went on back in 19, the Swan Lake fire, that summer when it was just brutally hot, we had 95 to 100 degrees for a month,
Yeah.
which was sweet for
Well, you
like
guys
2
were
days.
were in the danger zone for that fire.
Well, actually, so we have an airstrip there that's from the old homestead, so they actually made the IC. We have our airstrip listed as a resource through the forestry department, so they took that resource, and then our neighbor has a hayfield, and they used that as well, and they basically made our homestead the IC for the fire. So we had 5-6 choppers, all the personnel camps,
A lot of shit going on right
so
there.
it was just like super busy for about 47 days.
Yeah.
But if you got the IC at your house is probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
No,
it's
if
like-
there
Felt
was-
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was cool though. They were super awesome. They let my kids come over and check out the choppers, and they were super accommodating for anything for being a nuisance, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. Before we jump to trivia, I have one last question about the Iron Dog. Is the goal to be top 3 next year?
Yes.
No, they want the champagne shower, man.
I mean,
Yes.
the goal for me, at this point, this would be my 6th Iron Dog going into this, and you learn a lot. I mean, you learn every year.
Yeah.
I do anyway. And, don't stay humble, and, but I want to be on top of the box.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's where I'm at now.
Was this your best run?
Yeah.
4th?
Yep.
Same for you, Tim?
Yep. And I think that we learned a lot about ourselves of what we were capable of this year. And so, you're constantly always adjusting your goal. I said before this race, like, man, everything has to go right for us, and maybe some unfortunate things have to happen to some other teams for us to get even into the 5th position. And then at the end of day 1, which is a pretty challenging day, up and over the Alaska Range to McGrath, 350 miles, that team that won, Team 7, We were 30 seconds behind them in that, which, you know, in my opinion, that's the fastest team in the world. And so for us, we looked at the split times and we went, oh my God. And we went to
You're
them
right on their heels,
and
man.
we asked, you know, what happened to you guys? You know, they said, nothing. It was a perfect day. Good job, you guys. Believe in yourself. That's what we've been telling you all winter, because we cut a lot of trail with them and we had some time with them. And so we kind of looked at each other like, oh my God. And we talked the night before, and you know, there's always, you're riding with a new person, even though we had ridden together a lot, you know, there's always nerves, and you know, somebody's riding behind you and you're like, how's my form? You know, I think I'm doing some weird stuff. And so I had told him like, hey, I'm happy to follow. I mean, generally I think you're better at like following in the snow dust when you can't see than I am, but I'll just hang back. And he goes, yeah, okay, but maybe just lead us out of Big Lake and up to Squintna. That's kind of more your home turf. You know it better than me. And we started going, and things just change on race day, and all of a sudden everything else is quiet. You're feeling great. You're really at home with your sled and cruising. And he just kept kind of like feeding me these compliments. You know, you're doing a great job. This is great. This is a fantastic pace. Great job, bro. You're doing a great job. And I'm like, right, I'm a good boy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm not really a huge like words of affirmation guy, but that was huge. And then after the race, he told me, he's like, just so you know, that was always my plan. Like, you stare at GPS screens for a living. You know, you followed this trail for 20 years with your mom, you know, flying Iditarod.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're a great lead, you know, navigator. And he's phenomenal in the snow dust. He's 10 feet behind me the whole time. And we're talking almost like rally car drivers. You know, careful left ski, you know, careful right ski, overflow, you know, or he's saying stuff to me. You know, he started
because he's riding blind, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd probably out of that 2,300 miles, I maybe looked at the trail for about 700 miles of that. Other than that, I'm just staring at his tail light and his body, and that's what's telling me what's coming.
What to do, yeah.
But as far as looking at the terrain, I'm never looking at the terrain.
Yeah.
That sounds exhausting.
Wow.
It's so awesome.
Visually stimulating, because there's just swirling snow, and
Well,
you're just staring at this
think
little
about
orb.
the computing that your brain is just like doing constantly in your eyes, and like, man, it's got to just like, how do you even lay down in your sleeping bag at night? You're probably just spinning circles. Like, oh my god,
You sleep pretty good after
just
one
start
of those
using.
days.
Oh, sure.
You just feel
right
snow
down.
dust, like it's not even hitting you anymore. Like,
You do get a little colder in the back,
You get colder for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
just because you're getting black. You know, you're going through. It's cold. Well, this year especially,
You're getting
it
the
was
snow drift.
It was cold, but that stuff's finding areas to go, and you take your coat off when you get done. You're packed full underneath your jacket, but it's not that bad.
But it's all those commercial fishing years. Like, I get nervous because he's like so tough that he'll just not say anything. And I'll stop and be like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, I am. I told you that 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, I know, but you're
Just-
also
you
the
want him
type
to
of
break.
guy
He
that
won't say nothing.
until you can't.
yeah,
And I don't want to do that. You know, it's faster to stop and put on a jacket. I mean, at one point, we're going up the river, and I stop.
stopping.
Yeah, I stop, and I'm like, hey, you want to put on our puffy jackets? And he goes, it's only 20 miles to Galena. And I was like, yeah, I'm cold now. And he kind of laughed. He's like, all right, you know, so we put on our jackets.
That's the perfect
I guess
answer.
I will if you will. Yeah,
All right, well, if you're cold. Let's not be cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
teamwork,
works
guys.
really well. So definitely, I mean, before this experience, I would have said that the podium or the top spot on the podium was just out of reach. And I don't believe that now. And so, absolutely, that's the goal.
now you guys know, man.
Man, that's exciting. That's
Great.
exciting.
Yeah, you can just tell the connection you guys have just in our conversation, hanging out here tonight. You know, you guys bonded in this race, right?
Oh, for
You
sure.
guys-
You get pretty close with with a partner, and you really find out. I mean, typically you don't want to find that out during the race, but you can usually find out what someone's like once you put them into a situation that's not comfortable.
Yeah, that trauma bonding, right?
yeah.
Like,
And then if you do well uncomfortable, then usually you're probably doing all right.
Yeah.
And Tim, I think, does well uncomfortable, and I feel like I do okay uncomfortable. So
Well, it's the same with like hunting partners. You know, if you're
Yeah.
you know, packing
I was
out a
thinking the same
moose
thing.
and the dude with you is going like, this sucks. My back hurts. You know, those words are kind of piling on to the situation. And so I'd rather be with somebody that says like, well, at least this load isn't heavy.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got this.
yeah.
You can do
At
this.
least this load might be heavy, but at least it's not raining as it's
Yeah.
pouring down rain.
Yeah,
I would
you
rather
gotta
have
loosen
somebody
it up and
that's using, putting a positive spin on maybe a slightly negative situation.
Find that
'Cause-
half full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important, man. And all these things we do out here.
Yep. And then just you got
Makes a
to
big
maybe
difference.
check in too, but like there's a lot of things I need to tighten up on, and maybe Tim feels there's some things that he needs to tighten up on a little bit, and I think we'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
And I think we'll make a pretty good dynamic here this next season.
always room for improvement, right?
Yeah.
We're, like I said, I think we talked about a little bit that we're both pretty fortunate that I only work half the winter. He usually doesn't work most of the winter. So just given the time that we can put into, it's just, I mean, it's like any other sport, right?
Yeah. The more you practice, the more you get
put
better.
the time in. Generally, you start to improve and get better and learn more. So I think that's a big advantage that we have. And it's not anybody else's at fault, but a lot of guys don't have that option.
Yeah.
It might only be that they get Fridays and Saturdays or Saturdays and Sundays to go because they're a 9 to 5 in town and they got it, or young families, or we're just pretty fortunate that we get to spend a lot of time before the race together and out on the course.
Yeah. It's a big commitment.
Yeah. Is there any potential for some sponsorship stuff and some extra stuff coming your way from your success? Or I guess with you guys got to buy your sleds, but you do get a lot of perks, right? With it,
We get a lot of product sponsorship, like the big brands, they're wiping things down to cost sometimes for you.
Oh, okay.
But I think there'll definitely be some perks because I feel like we are taking ourselves much more seriously. And in turn, the Polaris race department, the climb race team, if you present yourself as like, hey, I'm a top level talent.
I'm all in.
I can get this brand to that top spot.
Yeah.
I need your support to do it. The race team allocates numbers of sleds to people. And if you get one, well, okay, you're practicing on maybe last year's race sled, and then you're going to race on this year's race sled, but maybe something changed. Maybe there's a design change. Maybe there was a manufacturing change and these one plugs got manufactured by a different vendor. Well, if you don't put a couple thousand miles on what you're going to be riding,
test that thing.
And so what we've said to them is like, hey, make us the test dummies. Like we're going to put 3,000 miles on a practice sled. So if you want to see what breaks or any sort of flaw in the system,
We'll find out.
We'll find it. Because, not because we're special, but because like he was saying, we're fortunate in our lives that we have the time. Our families ride.
You have the saddle time.
Yep.
I mean, my kids ride Polaris. My wife rides Polaris. His kids are obviously racing Polaris,
Yeah. Ride for the brand, baby.
And there's been some discussion already talked with the race department, so that there will be some extra stuff coming to us this year.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how that shakes
Figure
out.
it
What
out.
is the sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
What does the prize money go to? Basically rebuying supplies for next year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
parts and stuff.
Well, I mean, so
it can go to whatever you want. It's your money, but
for fourth place, you get 20 grand. So we each get a check for 10. Well, your race sled costs more than that.
Yeah. You're just pretty much paying off what you already put in.
It's like we're in the red. I'm just going to make the red a little less dark.
Yeah. Yeah. What was first place? What was the breakdown?
90.
90?
split
Damn.
90 split. Plus, they want some contingencies as well. I think by the time they're said and done, they're probably a little over 100.
Wow. Okay.
With
Holy
the
shit. How far does it pay out to?
This year they only paid out to 5th place.
Okay. So fifth gets what, 10?
I'm not sure what theirs was.
But damn, 100's nice.
But historically, I think it paid out to almost 10th place.
Yeah, Joseph and I got 7th, and I think it was 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 8th last year. Shane and I did, and I think it was a payout of like $7,500 or something like that.
Okay.
So then there was also some contingencies. We had won some studs, and those ain't cheap to get sent up to Alaska, and so it added up a little bit.
Yeah. Wow.
I pulled up some numbers. So 26 Iron Dog Pro Class purse features $281,000 in total value. comprising of $200,000 in cash prizes, $72,800 in contingency awards, and approximately $84.50 in entry fee incentives. So it's split up.
Yep. So some of those contingencies could be a dollar value from just say like a Hatcher's Pass players in Wasilla, say like, hey, we're going to give you a set of free skis or so, so they add up all those contingencies as well, value wise to those. Yeah. So they give out quite a bit of that stuff as well during the awards.
Yeah, and you'll take what you can get, right? I mean,
yeah,
you guys sacrificed so much to do that race.
Well, he won those studs last year, and we used them on our race sleds this year, and so that's $1,000. $1,000 worth of studs that we didn't have to buy.
Sure. Yep. Sure.
Hillary and I won
some stud boys,
$1,500 of climb gear last year. So that was gear that I ordered in the spring, and I had it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, adds up.
I've had a Curta sponsor when I first got started. It was kind of our local dealership down on the Kenai Peninsula Power Sports. Those guys have been awesome to me since I started getting involved in this, and those guys are give us a great deal on parts and a little bit of a parts allowance as well. So you can start grabbing those little bits here and there. It all adds up tremendously, actually.
Yeah. Do some people get sponsored by bigger things like Coca-Cola, or is there ever some kind of corporate sponsor that happens?
The biggest ones I've seen is like
Monster or something like.
Corey Davis was sponsored by like GCI.
Okay.
But I don't think I've seen any like national companies. It's usually like statewide companies.
Yeah.
There's a big oil company or oil contractor company. They're based out of Texas, but they do quite a bit of work up here in Alaska and Yellow Jacket Oilfield Services. And they've 2 years ago they sponsored our race sleds.
Oh wow!
So
okay, damn.
That was huge. So as far as I guess they are corporate, they're a pretty big company.
Yeah,
mostly down south, but they do have a footprint up here in Alaska as well. And
pretty generous.
That company's super rad, and obviously, but great people as well. So
number one.
And they do a lot. They own a children's hospital down there, and I mean they're a top-notch company as well, and they're all about helping people out.
Yeah, I was wondering, at one point, does like a Red Bull or somebody really get in there and like promote the shit out of this thing? Because it really seems to be in that wheelhouse. And you guys ever watch the Red Bull? They have like a channel or like a. I don't know if it's like their YouTube channel.
Sure, and there's like
it's like Fuel TV or something. It's like Flow TV.
Flow TV, yep.
Yeah, I see it at my barber shop all the time.
So they got Flow Racing, there's Flow Wrestling. They do all sorts of sporting type of stuff.
I'm like, dude, Iron Dog just feels like it's right in that wheelhouse. Like right with like what's the Baja shit? Yeah, yes.
And I'd say they are as far as the event goes, but you got to look at like logistics to get out there and do all that kind of filming. I mean, you're talking hundreds of $1,000s in helos and personnel to try to actually stage or so you could actually get that promotion out there versus like watch a bunch of guys leave off a big lake and watch a bunch of guys come into
you want me to call my Netflix guy?
No, but they spend big money like that.
They do, but that's what it's going to take to do that.
To place teams and groups of people and how many staff members you're going to have.
You're dealing with some pretty wild elements too. You got to stage a team of guys that are probably very capable individuals but have never been dropped off on the ice in Norton Sound in a ground storm. These guys are used to filming not to say they're not capable of it at all. They don't know.
Be a learning experience.
There's some pretty talented guys, though. I worked on a project for Red Bull last spring, and the concept was to get a backcountry skier with 2 speed flyers coming down, so guys under kites skiing. And Kai Jones was the skier of Jones Snowboards. That's his uncle. And so I flew an Otter from Palmer and flew the athletes and then all these cinematographers, drone pilots, and then there was an A-Star with us, and we just went up into the Tordillos, parked on a glacier, and then the heli was going up and down, and they have a whole team of super talented ski guides, and they're going to the top, they're digging pits, assessing the avalanche conditions, they all have, radios, like it's a tight program. It's really cool to work with them. And those big brands are really tied in with those events. I started working for Tortola Mountain Lodge this year. The lodge is sponsored by Monster. Yep. Monster logos on the side of the helos, and but I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just finding the guy that goes, all right, I like this.
Yeah.
Open the pocketbook. Here you go. Make it happen.
Yeah, I just feel like it would really blow the top off of it.
Oh, it would, 100%.
I mean, I think internationally it's well known through the community of snowmobiling and where it's popular in that. But I just do feel like that would really expose it.
Seems like there's another level it can get to.
Yeah, it's like it's just.
Now, who's willing to champion that and sell that to them? That's what it's going to take, the right people to go, hey, I think this would be great for you guys.
It's going to be an expense at the first year, but let's promote it and then make some money on the back end of it or whatever that means.
And like I said, I think that one year, I can't remember what year it was. Remember they did a informal start in Anchorage. I think they did Red Bull, had the jumps, the freestyle stuff set up. I think that was in 2015 or something. They did that.
Yeah,
so they were.
Right
It was getting big then, and it was kind of blowing up. And then I don't know what happened, but everything just kind of
What if COVID kind of put a damper on it or some bullshit?
Something might have had something to do with
that. Asshole put a damper on a lot of things.
Well, we have high hopes for it, man. It'd be cool to see some big Netflix or HBO or somebody do some big documentary and get you boys some real big sponsors.
Even I think the documentary side, you say like HBO, I mean, they could go put guys in a shop and document,
I mean, from the front end to the back end to the village life to,
and these
drones
backstories on the partnerships and like how they build and families coming together and the support and the Alaskan backcountry behind the scenes, right? Like those people that open their homes and their dinner tables to you guys. Like those stories are so cool, man.
There's a lot of people that build differently too. Some people get big groups of guys. Some guys don't even touch their own sleds. They have people build everything for them because they might not have the mechanical knowledge to do it.
But they can ride like a motherfucker.
Well, there's a lot in there. There's even a little drama and stuff you got a little drama in there.
Is there drama in the Iron Dog?
We're I wouldn't say not in our garage, but
no, there's there's competitiveness.
Or maybe on the trail when you leave your buddy back 5 miles.
Yeah. But even then, you got to have the right buddy because there wasn't much drama there.
No, there wasn't. No, you're right. You said you guys were cool with that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, you ready there, B?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah, got some trivia for you boys tonight. Trivia is brought to you by Connoisseur Crude Concentrates. You can find their products at various dispensaries all over the state, notably the Connoisseur Lounge in Palmer. Got a nice little arrangement here. I got 3 or 4 questions. We're going to start with a little Iron Dog history. What was the original name of the Iron Dog snowmobile race, and in what year was it ran?
Hold on. You guys go last.
Yeah,
say the question again.
What was the original name of what is now the Iron Dog race? What was the original? And what year was it ran?
The original Iron Dog race?
What was the name of it?
I'm going to say the Great Alaska Snowmobile Race.
Well, that's original.
Hey. They named a lot of things the Great Alaska. This or that.
A lot of greatness.
What year? Shoot, man. I'm going to say 84.
Okay.
That's my guess.
What do you guys got? Gossett, you look like you're ready to go.
I'm going to say 87, and it was the Gold Rush Classic.
Oh, wow. That's a good idea.
Okay.
That's a good one.
So the Gold Rush Classic, I believe, was the original. No, it wasn't. There was something else became that afterwards. But 84 is the year it started.
Yeah. Is it 1984?
Did I get the year right?
You did.
Nice.
You both, you guys got that.
Scott Feo and Dan Zappe, maybe?
Rod Frank.
Rod Frank.
Oh, Rod Frank.
Yeah, that's right.
1984 champions of the Alaska Dreamers race.
Was it?
Alaska Dreamers race?
Alaska Dreamers. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the predecessor of the modern Iron Dog race today. Yeah.
Okay.
Feo went on to become a 7-time champion in the early years of the race, man. 1984, those must have been all Arctic Cats.
Yamaha
then,
was a lot
dude.
of them.
Oh, Yamaha.
Oh man,
yeah.
phasers.
I
Pogo
think
shock phasers.
There was no airplanes. They carried all the parts on the sleds.
Damn.
planes were prohibited.
Heavy ass sleds.
Sleds
too.
were 900 pounds.
Yeah, but there was also, and then there
Half-inch
was just,
paddle tracks.
There wasn't
no
even
GPS.
no checkers. They were maps and compass.
Jesus, like the
gosh.
real expedition boys.
I'm sure you guys have been on an old 80s machine before. They don't exactly have a lot of suspension travel. So they're
Your suspension
literally
is your legs.
pretty
You got a
much
thick
in your back.
The seat is the suspension.
That's-
The seat, yeah, the
Big
cushion of the
true,
seat.
man.
So
Yeah.
no, those guys were a different breed for sure. They
Wow.
were, especially the first, to go out and be like, oh, I got an idea. Let's go do this. It sounds like a blast.
Yeah, both those guys lived on Lake Lucille, right down
Okay.
the lake from me in Wasilla.
Oh,
Wow.
that's perfect.
And
man.
then Palin ended up living on the lake too.
And then 85 was a couple of Kenai Peninsula guys. That was Scott Davis and Gary Eoff.
very good.
yeah.
And Gary Eoff, has a license plate that says one and done on his truck today because it was the first and only time he ever ran it, and he won, and he never ran again.
Ended on top.
Just
there you
dropped
go.
the mic and walked off stage.
Pretty much.
I knew that you would be good at trivia. I knew it. We always joke. We're like, all right, random facts with Chad.
That was a little about a lot, or just a lot about a lot.
I'd say a little about a little.
There we go. There we go. Revisiting the Exxon. How many tankers, on average, visit the Exxon Valdez port each year? On average,
I'd say close to 150.
Damn, that's a lot. I was gonna say 48.
And I believe most of those have to be Jones Act ships, but I'm not positive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you said 10 a month, which seems like a low number, that's 120. So yeah, I would go with 200.
10 a month. Wow. Okay.
yeah,
20 a month? That's probably a lot. I'm going to go with 200.
yeah, I like it. Yeah, 17 to 20 tankers per month, about 200 to 250
Damn.
a year come in there. Yeah. About 20 tankers is pretty much the average. Peaked out in 88. I guess there was a shit ton more beforehand, but wonder why, right?
Yeah.
And Jones Act is where they got to go hit a
Jones Act port first.
first and then come.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Okay.
a lot
Yeah.
of people wonder like why our fuel costs so much up here, and why aren't we just bringing oil from
Right
the
from the North
pipeline
Slope.
straight to the refinery down in Nikiski? Well, it doesn't quite work that way. And so
Yeah.
Just gotta go hit the West Coast.
it's got to go.
Gulf.
It's got to
It's
go
got to
for a
benefits
joyride first.
Got to benefits the West Coast boys first.
Yep.
That's right. Multiple choice question coming up here. What is the first air service to operate in Talkeetna, Alaska? A. Hudson Air Service. B. Talkeetna Air Taxi. Or C. Sheldon Air Service.
Ooh, you go last. I'm gonna say Sheldon, just by the look at their building.
What was
Rolled up
the other one? That's not Talkeetna.
Hudson.
I mean, Sheldon's a really good answer, but I don't know enough
Their building-
about it.
their building
I'm
looks
gonna-
the oldest.
I'm gonna
Kinda
go.
sounds
I'm gonna
made
go
up.
ahead and go against the grain and go with Hudson, just because Tim probably knows that.
I'm going to look stupid if I get this wrong. I'm going to say,
I thought about you. I was like, oh,
I don't
man,
think
is
it
he
was
gonna
called
know or-
Talkeetna Air Taxi. I thought it was called Talkeetna Air Service, but it was owned by Don Sheldon. So Don Sheldon started the first air service.
Officially?
I believe so. Why is it Hudson?
According to Google, your boy who's really good at fucking trivia.
Damn it.
1946 Hudson Air Service.
Wow.
Was there a Mr. Hudson that was operating it?
Must have
Yeah,
Cliff
got
Hudson, right?
a little bit of information on that actually.
What was it? What'd you say?
Were you asking him?
Yeah, he said
Cliff is what I said.
Cliff Hudson.
Yeah, I've got a
But that could be a more recent descendant.
1946. A Glenn Hudson,
Glenn Hudson,
began
there you go.
operations with a two-seater airplane. 1947 Cliff Hudson learned to fly and joined the business, which later became a key contractor for mail and transport in the remote areas. And in 1959, the use of the iconic de Havilland DHC-2 Beaver began shaping the golden era of bush flying in the area. Got another one. In what year was the Talkeetna Village airstrip built?
Yeah, I mean, you can find whatever you want on Google.
You can. I mean, I found what I found.
Taxi, established 1947 by Don and Roberta Sheldon, originally called Talkeetna Air Service, is an Alaska-based flight company.
And I kind of question that because I'm like, man, the years are like right one after the other.
But
so
then it
is
does
like,
say Hudson Air Service is home beginning back in 1946, Glenn Hudson. So, yeah.
it's like,
So,
were they like in a little race there? Like, who's going to start it?
Yeah.
I did hear,
they did
if you read Sheldon's book, he worked out in the gold mining district out there in Petersville, and they would walk from the river, essentially, or from Talkeetna, out all the way out there to the Dutch Hills. And he said one time he was making this like 3-day trek on snowshoes, and this airplane flew over, and he thought to himself, well, that's a much better way to get around.
Yeah.
And so then he went down south and got his ratings and bought a Cub, and then came back and started this air service.
Oh, okay.
And then you had his grandson on here, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool story, and that would explain they started with a 2-seater airplane. That's
Yeah.
probably the Cub.
Yeah, it was a Cub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what year did the Talkeetna Village airstrip get put in?
Is that the airport there?
I don't
I'm not
know.
very familiar
40
with the area.
same year,
So I'd
45.
say-
I'm gonna say 49.
I'm going to say the Department of the Interior is the ones that probably put it in, or it
The
wouldn't-
village
it-
strip, not the state strip.
The Village airstrip. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that. Well, whatever the first fucking
that's-
strip was put in.
That's the little one where Joe is.
Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah,
originally Sheldon's was.
and that's what I'm assuming is
And
like
they
the
built
OG.
the bigger one. And so, yeah, I don't know. Probably around that same
49.
49.
I got 40. If he started in 47, started the taxi service, he had
Well,
to-
how's he going to start with no airstrip?
maybe he wasn't landing at the airstrip.
Yeah.
Maybe he's landing on the
Dirt.
wagon
On a
trail.
lake, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. What did you say? What year?
I said 49.
38.
38.
So
Oh,
they
okay.
cut that in, and then they obviously went and got
Yeah.
the planes and got
Wow.
his certs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, that's all I got, but I thought that
blew
was
it.
fun.
Perfect.
I knew you'd be good at trivia.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah.
I got to store those. You said 38?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now I
Yeah,
can-
Hillary killed it too. He came up with something like,
Oh, that's
what's
right,
the name
dude.
of, what does Sitzmark mean? And she's like, oh, well, it's a long jumping thing. I grew up long jumping. It's when your butt hits the sand. We're like, and she
yeah,
sat
that's
here
right.
and asked, she's like,
The sits mark.
what
It makes
would
sense,
it be?
right?
And then she busted out exactly the definition. And we're like, you fucking sandbagger. We're all saying like, oh, it's a fucking ale
Some
house on the
silly
base of a
thing.
mountain.
I never even really wondered what it meant, but now it kind of
Now you
makes
know.
sense to me, right? The sits mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sitzmark.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. We have one more segment before we close it out. It's called Rapid Fire, brought to you by Alaska Gun Company, Custom Rifles, Expert Gunsmithing, and Real World Shooting Instruction. Engineered for wherever the wild calls. Visit alaskaguncompany.com. The way this works is it's like rapid fire. I'm going to ask you guys a question and just say the first answer that comes to your mind as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Got it?
One at a time. Rapid
I'm
fire
just going to
vote.
go. I'm going to say the question, then I have you answer, and then you answer. Okay? All right.
Let's go, boys.
Salmon, halibut, or trout?
Salmon.
Halibut.
Best pizza?
Kinnick pizza.
Chicago deep dish.
Ooh. Favorite brewery?
Denali Brewing.
St. Elias.
Favorite season?
All of them.
Damn, good answer.
I'd say we don't really have too many seasons here, but winter.
Okay.
Winter, spring.
Winter,
All
spring?
right. Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hunting or fishing?
Hunting.
Hunting.
Flying or snow machining?
Both.
Flying on my snow machine.
Flying off my snowshoe.
Now they do a creek.
Yeah. Favorite game meat?
Sheep.
Muskox.
Favorite riding gear?
Climb.
Climb.
Rafting, jet boating, or ocean boat?
Jet boating.
Jet boat.
Wood stove, toyo, or natural gas?
Wood stove.
Wood stove.
Charcoal, gas, or pellet grill for meats?
I'm going to
Pellet
go
grill.
with wood.
Wood.
It wasn't an option, but
Okay.
I'm going to say
All
wood
right.
fired.
Man, I like that.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Favorite breed?
English cocker.
Wiener dog.
Smoked salmon or jarred
That's
salmon?
great, dude.
Jarred smoked salmon.
Yeah, I agree.
Jarred smoked salmon.
combo.
Yeah, that's the best.
Canned smoked salmon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve?
I can't say what
I can't.
You can't. Okay.
No, not that I can't. That's
No,
my biggest
don't,
pet
don't,
peeve.
I don't want to hear you say I
Yeah,
can't.
I can't.
I can't.
Or I
Okay.
can't.
All right,
I can't
yeah.
find. I can't do.
I love that.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jam or jelly?
Jam.
Jam.
Fly rod or spin rod?
Fly rod.
Spin.
Shark attack or bear attack?
Bear.
Bear.
Favorite movie?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That's a good one.
Tombstone.
Favorite book?
Harry Potter.
Tucker Max.
Rap, country, or rock?
Oh man, I like
Rap.
them all.
Rap. Okay.
Rock though.
All right. Favorite
Good
hunter?
answer.
I'd say Callison. Guide out of Kodiak, early guide, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Good book.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one.
Okay. What do you think about that?
You don't got to answer them all.
Last question. Most famous Alaskan?
Todd Palin.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Haven't heard that one.
Tillman, out of Homer. He was
Alright.
part of putting together the permanent front.
You guys were real regional. We had some South Central.
Yeah.
We had the Kenai Peninsula. I like it. Staying true to your roots.
Nice job, guys.
Yeah, really well done.
Perfect.
Super impressed with your trivia skills, Chad. Damn, bro. Well done.
Yeah. How about some last minute maybe takeaways from this year's race that you'll do different next year? Not giving away secrets, but something that's like, I mean, you mentioned the one part you forgot, but
Yeah,
anything stand out?
better physical fitness, more discipline, preparation in terms of building and packing. Our thing that we said to each other before this race was that he needs to tone it down. I need to step it up. I think we found a really good pace, and then we need to push that ever so slightly.
Yep, not a lot, just a little bump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
really well said, man. I like
Yep.
that. Yeah, and I think too, maybe taking it a little more serious. Not that you guys didn't take it serious, just as far as now you know what your bar is.
Yeah.
You guys went beyond what the expectation was. Now there's a true confidence in that you can place or even win this thing, right?
Yep, but you just got to stay humble and reel it in, and not get carried away, because it can get taken away from you. So I've been there, and it's not a good feeling to have to exit the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's anybody can hop on a sled and hold it to the bars, right? And then it's only gonna last for so long.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing, I think, is just stay humble and pretty much do what we did and try to do it, to mimic it again, like I said, and just turn it up just one notch on the volume knob and go from there. And I think everything will play out pretty good.
Well said.
Trust your partner. Trust your partnership.
Yep. I think that's there. I think we're both pretty good on that. I wouldn't have asked him to run if I didn't trust him beforehand. So
Don't use hockey tape on your goggles. Carry a pivot arm and shock rods.
he's got a list.
He's got the do's and don'ts.
Never lose focus, even when riding slow. Take your time in checkpoints. Treat your family and friends better. That's for me. Keep your mouth shut. That's also for me.
I need to get that. Can you send me that list?
Yeah, it sounds like a list for everyone
And then
listening.
there's like specific little mechanical things. But
Yeah. So what's the best tape?
Pretty cool.
If not hockey
the
tape.
best tape. Well, hockey tape worked well for me at sled speeds in ambient air.
Okay.
But into a 60-mile-an-hour headwind, it got through, and so duct tape.
Straight
And
up duct
so
tape.
we were going into a headwind. It's cold and the headwind, and then that you know your goggles have all those vents. We tape absolutely every single vent in your helmet and your goggles.
Okay.
And so air was getting through my main vent, which was hockey taped, and previously it worked great last year, the year before, training, but in this
Just the right
specific
cold.
scenario, so it froze my face and my left eye stopped working.
Wow.
And so the whole Kotzebue loop I did on one eye, and I would tell him like, get out front. I can't really tell if that's a rock or a stick or whatever. And then he would get out front, but I want to be navigating.
Yeah.
And so he'd kind of lose the trail, and I'm like, damn it, it's over here. And I'd pass him again. So, that whole day was brutal because we only had 3 hours of sleep the night before because of the mechanical breakdown. And then we did a full day in a ground storm for 12 plus hours. Super cold, and I had no left eye, smashed into a wind drift, chopped myself in the throat so hard that he couldn't understand what I was saying. I sounded like a smoker down in a box. And then our radios died, so he couldn't understand me. Then the radio died, so I'm trying to talk to people at checkpoints, about the trail. Hey, is it the overland or is it the river? What's faster? And they're like, what? Good job. You're doing great. Keep going. It was so frustrating. So, yeah, hockey tape was, and not packing the parts the day before, and then the hockey tape, just small little things like that.
Yeah, they just compiled into this like little shit show you guys had for a day. Real quick, you mentioned like 3 times tonight. What exactly is a ground storm out in Nortonstown? I'm kind of like depicting wind blowing snow around.
Yeah.
Yep, you just nailed it. So it's not
okay.
necessarily like coming from cloud precipitation. It's that it's already hit the ground, and now a high wind event has occurred.
Oh, it's
and,
swirling it
and that
up.
stuff's so dry and so light
Yeah.
that snow is up in
Sugar.
the Arctic, and that now it doesn't. And that's presumably like most of the Arctic, even up on the North Slope and all that stuff, doesn't snow a lot. It just blows it back and forth, and so you'll get into what they refer to as a ground storm, and that's not necessarily snow just coming down, but that's just wind creating a almost like a sandstorm. If you've seen,
Okay. Sure,
it's almost the same concept,
The desert environment.
right? And it is a desert, right?
Yeah.
It's an Arctic desert. So
I mean, imagine you had like a white ping pong ball and you put some, snow inside of it, and then put you inside of it, and then took an air compressor and just like you can't see anything. It's like you're like, I'm inside the ping pong ball again because you can't see.
Yeah.
You're just going, and that country, and there's really not that many trees or obstacles, and so then you just lock into your GPS, and you're just focusing from the
I
trail to
see.
your GPS, and you're reading the topo lines, and so there's a creek coming up, and so generally the hill is going to flow into a creek, and then there's a deep spot, and then you go, and so you'll slow down there, and then you'll speed up across the tops, but you're just kind of going blind.
Yeah. Trusting your electronics.
that and just riding by Braille.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
see anything in the back anyway, so it's always a ground storm
Yeah.
back there. So,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's great. Well,
Yeah, I
Tim and
think
Chad, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Taking it slightly more seriously, like you said, Brandon.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
When you first start and you're a rookie, you overthink everything and you spend so much money. And then I feel like this year was a stage for us where we were just like, yeah, I mean, you got an old ox tank, slap that sucker on there. Oh, you got some used glove. Oh, yeah, use those. And so after this race, we learned that you can do that. It's maybe not. Oh, all right, let's maybe start with a fresh auxiliary tank that isn't worn.
Yeah. Or contaminated, but
And so while we
Fuel or-
overthought
or-
things, and then we took it really easy and we did it pretty cheap, now we'll probably tighten up a little bit from that.
yeah.
But as far as our race program, I don't think there's honestly. I mean, I think we got a pretty good program set up. Like I said, we're just going to tighten it up a little bit, turn it up a little bit, and I think we'll be successful.
Sounds
That
good.
sounds like a perfect recipe, man.
Yeah.
You guys got any hunting trips planned for 26?
I made my yearly donation again this year.
Sure.
Well, but that's usually I will hunt it regardless. But
Yeah.
I got a cabin down there in the Caribou Hills in the Nilchik, so I spend a lot of time there during hunting season, and I don't get too crazy. I just kind of cruise around with the family and usually get lucky. So
Yeah.
But as far as any other trips go, I don't have anything planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been flying for an outfitter down by Cordova and then also on the Alaska Peninsula. And, you're down there and just a surplus of moose meat. And, it's free.
Yeah, and you're still working that time of year,
all
aren't you?
the guides are, processing it and vacuum packing it. And I just say, this is mine, this is mine,
thanks.
this is mine. And so the freezer is just full for free.
Nice.
Yeah,
and
what a
then
cool
with
setup.
all the outdoor adventure stuff that we do with the family, those boxes are kind of checked. This year I probably won't do the hunting season. And so, we did a cool trip out to the Mulchatna in the airplane, and Hillary and I got, she's muzzleloader. We got 3 caribou, like smaller ones that were tasty.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
eaters.
I'd like to go do that again.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like
Love
to
it, boys.
I like to hunt pretty much anymore, either by myself or with my wife. So it's if she's in shape and wants to go, and which she's usually way better shape than I am. She's a marathon runner, so
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Wow, yeah, she's about that life.
like Mount Marathon,
Yeah.
a mountain
Even
marathon.
better.
So
Yeah.
usually I'm like, slow down. She's like, my heart rate's not even up yet. It's like, well, mine's about ready to blow, so you need to chill out.
Oh, that's funny.
We have a lot of fun though in the backcountry. My wife and I do.
That's great. That's great.
That's awesome, man.
Well, Tim and Cody, man, thanks for coming by and chatting with us and sharing your story and your insight on the race. And we hope you guys the best for next year. And I'm actually really happy that you guys are racing again and that you guys found this partnership. And it seems like you guys get along so well, and all the cool things that you guys and you and Hillary doing for the kids out there and the racing. I mean, it's just breeding the next Iron Dog racers, really, man. It's so cool to see that. And it's just so unique to Alaska and maybe a couple other states that really do it, but such a cool thing that we do, and you guys help out up here. So thanks for shedding the light on that and spending the time for doing that, right? Because you could be doing anything with your time.
Yeah, you get these kids addicted to sleds now. They'll never have money to buy drugs, so it's a great thing.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Keep them busy all winter long too, right? In the off season, for the summers.
It's super fun to actually and just to watch growth.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch them just go from basically hitting a throttle in a mitten, at 2 years old to shoot Tim's boy Grayson. The kid's a little stud now. At his age, and it's just really neat to see that growth.
Well, we talked to you guys about it, like, this next generation is going to be a problem, and it's here now.
Yeah.
We have those kids that still need chaperones, and then the parents are having to find us and say, like,
I can't keep up with him.
can
Or
you
her.
please,
can you
do
go?
you have time to chaperone the kid? And you're like, all right, yeah, I could race with him. And then you go behind him, you're like, nice, this is fun. Every Iron Dog I've ever talked into chaperoning a kid is like, wow, that was the most fun I've had in a race in a long time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because it's just below our pace, and so it's comfortable. And then you're kind of living vicariously through this little person.
Yeah, you want them to
watching
do
And
them
that.
rip.
they are studs, girls and boys. Like, Hillary's going to race this weekend, the Squinted 200, with this girl out of Fairbanks, Izzy. She was partnered up with a girl out of Kotzebue, and then she had something pop up, canceled just today, and another girl had messaged her and said, hey, do you need a partner? And how old's Izzy? Like 14 or something?
I don't know who he is.
She's friends with the Carrolls.
Okay,
She's kind of this little phenom. I guess blew Hillary's doors off across Robe Lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And so she
Right on,
likes
man.
to, especially in the Squinted 200, like, it's kind of our backyard. She likes to take kind of these up and comers.
Nice. Yeah, I love what you guys are doing, man. And thanks for sharing your story. We've had several Iron Dog conversations, since Alaska Wild Project came about, and this was by far one of the coolest, most unique versions. You and Hillary's story is amazing, but this was like kind of two savvy vet kind of mentalities coming together from a family support dynamic. Like it's in your pedigree to race and ride, And that's like the perfect match that maybe you guys just never knew was coming, and now you guys are like this. Like, I feel like it's a super team in the making, man.
That'd be nice. Be nice to squirt him in the eyes with some champagne.
There you go. Exactly, man.
That's the
We'll be cheering you. We'll be cheering you boys on next.
Do you keep the same number?
Next year?
Yeah.
Team 19.
Yeah, we're Chad's number 19.
Team 19.
Okay.
19 was actually my hockey number from age 4 till I was 19. Actually, when I quit playing hockey.
Got it.
So
yeah, I didn't really grow up with a number, so it just usually before a race I look on the wall and
What's
what windshield
left?
do I have,
Yeah,
and
okay,
what bib
19.
do I have,
Yeah,
and what's
okay.
available. This weekend I was 99. Just I don't have one single number.
Well, we'll be expecting our Team 19 hoodies next year.
Exactly.
we'll
yeah.
be expecting our
So
Alaska Wild
hoodies.
Project
You-
hoodies
you
too.
will
Oh,
be
you'll
getting
get
it
one of those on the way out.
now. You're going to get that now, so we'll
dang
get the
it,
19 later. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alaska, for listening. We appreciate you guys. Please support the sponsors that support the show. That is the best way to support the show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast. And we appreciate you. Buy some merch if you got some money. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Chad. Go Team 19.
That's right. Stay wild.
You'll remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is presented by Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation. Established in 2014 as an Alaska nonprofit organization, its purpose, keep sheep on the mountains of Alaska. As stewards of wildlife conservation, they promote scientific wildlife management, educating the public on wild sheep while enhancing populations. Their objective is to protect and improve sheep hunting and viewing opportunities. Join as a member today and make a difference at akwildsheep.org.
Alaska Wild Project podcast is supported by the following sponsors. Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
AZAC Equipment. The mission is pretty simple. Build equipment that is light, functional, and durable, providing hunters field-tested gear for the rugged Alaskan backcountry. AZAC Equipment offers optic mounting solutions including ultralight tripods, pan heads, and ball heads designed to deliver in the most unforgiving conditions. Check out their products at aziak.com.
Mayor's Salsa, made fresh to order, ensuring you get the most flavorful salsa every time. Crafted with the finest ingredients, delivering an authentic taste you can truly enjoy. The classics include City Slicker, Arctic Heat, Fairbanks Fire, and AWP's favorite, Rollin' Smoke. Visit mayorsalsa.com, changing the way the world eats salsa.
Game Day Men's Health Anchorage, helping men look, feel, and perform at their best with testosterone replacement therapy, ED solutions, medical weight loss, and cutting-edge peptide treatments. Whether you're grinding on the job site or chasing kids around the suburbs, Game Day helps you reclaim your game. Take your health to the next level at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage, is our go-to for powder sleds and utility rigs. Whether you're in the mountains with the flat bill bros, running trap lines, or hauling freight, they have the selection to get you dialed from peaks to the valleys. Find them on Commercial Drive or akmining.com.
Grizzly Expeditors and Taxidermy, established in 2022, offering a wide selection of services to hunters, guides, and taxidermists alike. They take pride in providing the hunting community with exceptional service and one-of-a-kind results, while capturing a memory of a lifetime. Visit their website at grizzlyexpeditors.com.
Northern Waste. It may be trash, but doesn't have to look like garbage. Whether it's your home, business, or rental property, Northern Waste will do what it takes to make sure your waste and recycling needs are covered. Visit them today at northernwaste.com. Let's talk trash.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.